Salute and happy Monday, riders. What it do? I see for the most part, everybody's almost survived their work day. It's 5. CH, thank you for becoming a new member. Thank you. Hey, thank for my sister, my rider, Kristen. What it do, sister? Yolanda Amores. Welcome. Happy Monday. Salute, sister. Tanya, salute, sister. I remember this story. Just be salute. Happy Monday. Top Flight, my sister, my rider, what it do? Happy Monday. Hope you feeling better. Barbie on Wheels, happy Monday, sister, my rider. Hope you feeling good too. Hey Karen, hey everybody, I'm here on time for this one. Okay, hey Tom Warp, happy Monday. Salute to my riders. Nobi, my sister, my rider. Hey, what it do? Miss 52, hey sister. Okay, sister. Sweet honey, what it do, sister? Yeah, so hey somebody, hey Christian, how y'all doing? Happy Monday. So last night while I was live, it was a subscriber that dropped down and they said, have you seen us, Diamond, Bynum, and King Walker? And I was like, oh, okay. How long have they been missing and stuff? And it kind of threw me. I can't lie, it did. It really kind of threw me, and it was sad. She was like 10 years and stuff. So prayers to your family, and I'm glad you still have hope that we could find Diamond, Bynum, and King Walker. So prayers to your family from me and my riders and stuff. And I hope me sharing the story just helps just a little bit. I know it doesn't give too much healing, but just to, keep their name alive because I never heard of the story. But thank you for allowing me to share it, okay? Hey, 313 Shelly, Taj, happy Monday, Samad, Krisha. Hey, Miss Parker, glad to be here at the beginning instead of catching up. I said that like button. I miss 1 in a billion. I am Nisha. Hey, happy Monday. One love. I'm getting ready for work, so I'll be listening. All right. Thank you, One Love. Hey, Nika. Hey, Von Sheila. Happy Monday. My love, my riders. And so I said, what better way is always to share these stories with my riders. So remember, hey, Portia, my sister, my rider. What up, Annie, my love? Happy Monday to y'all. It's me, Jazzy. Okay. What you scared for, Jazzy? She said, I'm just clicking and I'm scared. What you scared for, Jazzy? But yeah, salute and welcome to each and every one of y'all. Like I said, I hope y'all having a blessed Monday. For those that made it, happy work day. That's done. Okay. Hey, Passion. Thank you, Passion Fruit. I appreciate you. Welcome. And y'all make everybody feel comfortable. Passion Fruit says she's new and I love the show. So I appreciate that. Passion Fruit. Hey, Alma, my sister, my rider. What it do? How's y'all work day? How was it for those that already got their shift done and over with? And it's Monday. Hey, Nisha, sister. Hey, Colton. What's going on? Happy Monday. How's the work day been? How's the weather? Because it's pretty outside. And, it's not hot like it's hot, but, what I'm saying? It's that comfortable hot. It's not where I can't breathe. And where I had this cold, it was like, I just got over a cold. Like I was getting over the cold I had. Hey James, happy Monday. Hey, have you seen us podcast? Hey sister. Thank you, James. Appreciate you. I was like, and I had to get up super early on top of having a cold. I was just tossing and turning. I was so hot. I was so hot. But I feel better. I feel way better today. What up, oh boy? What it do, bruh? Oh, but when you going live again? When you doing the show? Dolores, hey, beautiful. Love you, Miss Parker. Thank you, Nisha. Thank you. I'm from Gurney and I remember this story when they were missing. God bless you and thank you for covering this sad story. I still hope they come up one day. Okay, Dolores, thank you for dropping down. You did a video on these two, sister. It ain't right here yet. I'ma thank God. Thunderstorms here in Virginia. Hey Amber, happy Monday. Hey Lori. Hey Paula, happy Monday, my riders, my sisters. But yeah, thank you, Nisha. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Hey, Thankful. What up, sister? So I just want to share y'all with y'all and us talk about it a little bit like we always do and stuff. And then I want to do one on Kimani in maybe a couple of hours. I just gotta wind down. I got my candy. I know, Lori girl, I can't shake it. I can't shake it. Hey Alicia. All right, sister. But yeah, let's talk about it. It will be late in the week. It's hard during the week, sis. Okay. I'll be there. Hopefully this weekend, but I'll be there. Hey Sarah. Thank you for showing love always. Thank you. So let's get into this story and see what little sadness it brings.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Danielle Hallen, and I am back with another video. But before I can dive into any of that, I need to just mention a few things really quickly. My most recent video on London, unfortunately, was age restricted by YouTube, which has only happened to a handful of my other videos, like less than 5, and they're not pushing it out to anyone, which is really frustrating because this is a case that was very, very well known. It happened back in 2019 and it went viral in all of media, but then completely went quiet. And a lot of people that were kind of in that beginning hype don't realize that the case is still not closed and the families are basically fighting with the sheriff's department to get the case to be closed and to get some sort of resolution. So make sure, first of all, that you have my notifications turned on because a lot of my videos are not being pushed to my subscribers, especially when something like that happens. They just blacklist my name for a while. Also, make sure you go to my channel, click on the videos tab, and look for that specific video. It should pop up if you're above the age of 18. And please give it a watch and make sure to share it so it still gets out there. Second of all, if you hear my cat screaming in the background, it's because I refuse to let them go outside, which obviously means that they are now in a maximum security prison, and they're not pleased with that. They're plotting their ways to escape at the moment. Now that we have all of that out of the way, we can jump right into today's case. So today we are going to be discussing the disappearance of two very, very vulnerable individuals back in the summer of 2015. 21-year-old Diamond Bynum, who has a cognitive impairment, and her 2-year-old nephew, King Walker, vanished from their home in the middle of a nap. Like literally 40 minutes, they're there, all of a sudden, they're gone. And their sudden disappearance triggered a massive search effort. But despite this extensive initial effort taken by law enforcement, efforts that have now very significantly slowed, if not halted, and the continued dedication of family members, neither Diamond nor King has ever been found. And it has been almost 10 years at this point. Media attention on the case has been limited, and the investigation encountered numerous obstacles, including a lack of an Amber Alert, difficulties obtaining information for a PI, and now a lack of communication and progress from law enforcement. It's just sitting stagnant, and it's left Diamond and King's families with a sense of abandonment. Not only that, but leads in missing persons cases, they just naturally decline over time. That's a part of how it goes. But in this particular instance, they seem to stop abruptly early on in the investigation. There is just a great deal of uncertainty surrounding the cases of Diamond and King, including whether they wandered off or if they were taken. And so this makes widespread sharing of their story essential in the search for answers. So make sure we do our part as true crime consumers and not just listen to this for entertainment, but share this case, share their missing persons posters, join their Facebook, and support their family to hopefully help bring Diamond and King home. Diamond was born on February 18th, 1994, to Eugene and LaShawn. She was quickly diagnosed with a very rare genetic condition called Prader-Willi syndrome, which is commonly referred to as PWS. And this rare condition affects several parts of someone's body, but most notably, it's characterized by things like growth hormone deficiency, behavioral challenges, and chronic hunger. And typically, those with PWS are shorter in stature, they have weak muscle tone, learning disabilities, and then that chronic hunger tends to lead to obesity and then all of the health issues that come along with that. And Diamond did struggle with a lot of these things. At the age of
That says a lot right there to me. That says a lot. Salute Rose. How you doing? Happy Monday. But it says a lot to me because I'm kind of looking at it like if they're taking a nap and they're resting, her and her nephew, because King is her nephew, her sister's child. So they're taking a nap, and y'all hear all the diagnosis that this little girl has. And it's like, she didn't just wake up and say, in the middle of a nap, and say, hey, I'm going to kidnap my nephew and run away. Her mind doesn't process like that. Hey, Kimberly, what it do, sister? Happy Monday. Hey, Capricorn. Happy Monday, sister. But it just doesn't function like that. And it's nothing against anybody that's, has all kind of impairments, but there's just not where their mindset is. So this is interesting to hear that she has imperatives and that they was down for the nap, and then boom, they're just missing. So that's good to know.
21, around the time that she disappeared, she had the mental capacity of a 5 to 7-year-old. So she required constant assistance throughout her day-to-day life.
Yeah, she had the mind of a 5 and a 7-year-old. Yeah, I'm like, seriously. If she had a mind of a 5 and a 7-year-old, there's no way. I mean, I could hear from just how she described her impairments, and it's like, there's no way she could just automatically wake up and go, oh, I'm gonna run away with my nephew. Not even a 5-year-old is thinking that way. They might say it hearing other children say it or something, but just to come out and outright think of running away and running away with a child and having the mind mentality of a direction to go in without being like caught early on. So, hey, Melanin Queen, how you doing? Chick said exactly. She said it seems like it was someone close that knew they were home. Hey, Denise, happy Monday, sister. I believe stepmom knows something. Oh. See, I ain't got that far in. I'm just looking at it with you guys.
She also struggled with the chronic hunger, and she weighed around 260 pounds at the time. And this made it challenging for her to walk long distances. And she also walked with a pretty pronounced limp, because with that weight, along with things like muscle weakness, her body just struggled a lot more. And while, of course, all of this made life a little more difficult,
she definitely ain't gonna be able to carry no. If she struggled with holding her own body weight up because of her muscles, there's no way she ran away with the 2-year-old. Just not possible. The impairments, and hey, Naira, what up, cousin? What it do? I love you. I miss you. I was just with Shanika over the weekend, Naira. It's crazy. But yeah. But anyway, guys, there's no way with her muscle weakness and stuff, no. Without a shadow of a doubt. And that's what I'm saying. It'd be crazy because this is not like, I'm not saying people don't get kidnapped out of their homes, but at the same time, it's somebody that knows your home, like your hours and everything. They know everything about you. Yeah, it is sad. And yeah, that much weight, like just weight period. Like she can't because the 2-year-old's gonna eventually get tired and want you to pick them up. Name one that don't. So, and especially walking, they're running away. So, he has to get down. He has to get picked up. He's gonna be fussy. He's not around his mother. So emotions are gonna kick in. He's gonna be rowdy. He's gonna be all over the place. Hey, Miss Lady B, welcome. Happy Monday. So, it's a lot to look at. It's a lot to look into right now.
Diamond and her family ensured that she was still living a fulfilling life. Diamond was known for her gentle and her bubbly personality. She was always laughing and smiling, like genuinely so happy to be alive. And I've seen the same picture of her over and over again. And I've seen it throughout the years through other coverage of this case, and like it's just one that's ingrained in my brain. Her smile is so big. She loved all things beautiful, including getting her hair done. She loved to get her nails done, and she also took a lot of joy in caring for those around her. She would always find a way to help. Like you couldn't tell her no. She was going to be in the middle doing something. She loved to be in the kitchen helping to cook. She loved to clean, anything she could get her hands on. Her parents ended up separating at some point during during her childhood. So by the time she turned 13, her father, Eugene, became her primary caregiver, but it seems her mom still remained very, very active in her life. And she continued to live a fulfilled life. She attended a day school during the week to ensure that she stayed active in the community all the way up until she disappeared. And she also participated in the Special Olympics in 2014. She
Okay.
was living a very loving and enriching life. And for a good portion of her life, she had been living with her dad and her stepmom, Suzanne, in Hammond, Indiana. But in February of 2015, just a few months before she vanished, her family decided to make the move to Gary, Indiana, and they settled into a home on the 500 block of Matthews Street. And Diamond continued to thrive there. She was still going to school. She was still surrounded by family.
And don't forget, Gary, Indiana is where we're still missing Janiyah McMichael Rogers. She is still missing. So if you are in that area, please be out on the look for Janiyah McMichael Rogers. That is something to look into. And I looked up the statistics and stuff like that, the numbers and things about the missing children and stuff, and it's quite huge. And look up the state, look in the cities. Hey Walker, what it do, sister? What up, Ryder? So yeah, this is mhm.
Family on May 11th, 2013 to Ariana. It was full of energy, full of life. He
Very
loved to
yeah,
play and dance, but his favorite thing of all time
South
was to run. And it was even better to be Ariana traveled to Chicago every single Saturday to attend school. And so on Friday nights, she would drop King off at the Bynum home with you. So as a result, Diamond and King spent a lot of time together. And being the helpful person that Diamond was, she always looked forward to his arrival. Not only was it someone she could play with, but it kind of gave her this like sense of responsibility. And while she wasn't able to fully take care of King without assistance, she was there for plenty of other things. She was eager to play, change diapers, prepare his food, and they loved to take walks around the neighborhood. And this was the exact same routine that was followed on the weekend of Friday, July 24th and Saturday, July 25th. Ultimately, the day that both of them went missing and were never seen again. Ariana dropped King off as usual on Friday night, and early on Saturday morning, Eugene headed out for work. So this left Suzanne as the caretaker for both Diamond and King, which again was completely routine for this family. Diamond was in a particularly good mood that weekend because everyone planned to get together on Sunday the 26th for a party to celebrate Eugene's birthday. And so just the thought of a birthday party alone was incredibly exciting for Diamond, but especially so because there was a long-standing tradition that she would receive a few presents to open herself. And so this year she had asked for chocolate milk, which was one of her favorite drinks, and a bunch of beautifully scented soaps. And her grandmother had actually already purchased all those for her and was so excited to give them to her the following day. However, King, on the other hand, was feeling a bit under the weather that weekend, so he wasn't his typical energetic self, which in my opinion comes into play in their disappearance. Now, according to Suzanne, they all woke up at their normal time that Saturday. She made breakfast for everyone, and then Diamond and King each took a bath. And at around 10:20 a.m., Suzanne started to notice that King was really feeling unwell, and Diamond had already gone to lay down in Eugene and Suzanne's bedroom. And so Suzanne was like, maybe this is a good opportunity for everyone to kind of chill out and take a nap. So she placed King down in bed with Diamond, and she laid down as well, and pretty soon everyone drifted off to sleep. And in the next 40 minutes, something happened that changed this entire family's life. 40 minutes later, around 11 a.m., Suzanne woke up and realized that neither King or Diamond were in the bed with her. And she didn't immediately panic, thinking they likely hadn't gone far. Diamond maybe went down to look for some food. Maybe she was trying to get King a snack. Maybe they were playing. But after a quick search of the home, she realized they were no longer inside the house. So Suzanne set off to check.
That's why I'm saying something ain't off. So, y'all getting prepped for the birthday party and all of this. And, y'all winding down. The kids is up for breakfast. It ain't like they went throughout the night. Hey, Constance. Hey, Jolita. I see you guys. Hey, Virtuous. Happy Monday. So now you got this. How hard she sleep? That's a good one, Alma. How hard do she sleep? Because is it past, y'all eat breakfast? How long between, what's the hours between y'all eating breakfast? And she said the baby wasn't feeling good. Someone else there. Lakeisha, I discovered you in Shank about a week ago. Now I'm hooked. Welcome, Lakeisha. Welcome. Thank you. So the stepmom didn't hear them get up. I thought this was the grandmother's house, Denise. I thought this was the grandmother's house. Yeah, this is the grandmother's house. But she didn't hear anything.
The neighborhood. From what I've seen described, Diamond had a tendency to wander off on her own, and many different disabilities can lead to things like elopement, a very, very common thing. And so this was something that Diamond was known for, and she had done this frequently enough in her previous neighborhood that all the neighbors knew her, where she would go and walk. And so if anyone saw her, they would just go out there, walk around with her, and then guide her back home so she wasn't by herself. But this was a completely different story because she was now in a new neighborhood. No one knew her. She wasn't familiar with her surroundings. So it was uncertain whether anyone would have faced or if Diamond could guide her and King back if they had wandered off from the house. But there were a few things that Suzanne was really banking on when it came to finding Diamond and King. Due to Diamond's disability, she struggled with her mobility. Like I told you before, she did have a limp that slowed her down. So when she did wander off, historically, she never got far. Plus, King wasn't feeling well. So he also likely was not in the position to go very far from the home. So when Suzanne checked the entire neighborhood, screaming out Diamond and King's name and found no sign of them, that's when panic really began to set in. Suzanne immediately called Eugene and let him know what was going on, and he flew into a panic and rushed home from work to try and search the neighborhood for himself. And they also went ahead and made a call to the Gary Police Department to report King and Diamond as missing. Eugene's initial theory when he spoke to the police was that
because he didn't feel good. So that's what I was thinking, like, did she just take him? I'm like you, Alma, Alicia, would Diamond take the baby with her by herself? Susan was the step-grandmother, not the grandmother. That would be LaShawn. Oh, okay, Kathy, thank you. Oh. So the step grandmother's married to the girl's father. LOL, search 2 minutes in the whole house. Yeah, lock the door, check the house. Jeez.
And then decided to head outside to play while everyone was sleeping. But Diamond, who absolutely loved being with King and considered herself his babysitter, likely would have chased after him if he had run out the door. He noted that if she had just ventured a few houses too far in any direction, she wouldn't have been able to find her way back home.
So is this the stepwife's daughter or is it his daughter? Hey, Kimmy Mo. Hey, happy Monday. So she was Diamond's stepmother, correct? Step grandmother. Oh, step grandmother. Oh, she said he is. So what was she to Diamond? Okay, she's saying right. Hell, I don't know what I'm asking y'all. Hell, I'm up here. Okay, so Karen, explain, what was she to Diamond? I believe Susan was jealous of Diamond. Run it back. Okay. Run it back how far, chick? Because how far you want it ran back? The Capricorn, she moved to a new neighborhood. Yep, she moved. Oh, it was his daughter, so Diamond wasn't her daughter. Diamond was his daughter. Because it's making sense. Like, if I know if this is her daughter, if it ain't, then I can see her being, you know what I'm saying? Okay, they saying that Diamond belongs to the man. So Diamond belongs to the man. That's his real child. But she's a stepmother. Okay, it's making sense. I mean, did she not just want to babysit? Was it too much of taking care of Diamond, and Diamond has to get all that attention? Jean didn't even have custody. Child. Whew. Was this the stepmom? I'm about to rewind it back, y'all. I don't know the story. I'm with y'all on this. I don't know. Let me take it back. We're just in the 7 minutes, so let me.
As the caretaker for both Diamond and King, which again was completely routine for this family. Diamond was in a particularly good mood that weekend because everyone planned to get together on Sunday the 26th for a party to celebrate Eugene's birthday. And so just the thought of a birthday party alone was incredibly exciting for Diamond, but especially so because there was a long-standing tradition that she would receive a few presents to open herself. And so this year she had asked for chocolate milk, which was one of her favorite drinks, and a bunch of beautifully scented soaps. And her grandmother had actually already purchased all those for her and was so excited to give them to her the following day. However, King, on the other hand, was feeling a bit under the weather that weekend, so he wasn't his typical energetic self, which in my opinion comes into play in their disappearance. Now, according to Suzanne,
Kathy said, I've been working this case since it all happened until the present. Kathy, when you say you've been working on this story, what, are you a blogger? Or, or you just took interest in the case? Hey, Detroit. I don't know anything about this story. Thanks for the recap. Love you. Love you too, sister. The nephew was sick. Yeah, Simone, I seen that. I did see that. Yeah, I'm just asking Miss Kathy Clement about the story. Sweet Pea. Alicia, can y'all drop Sweet Pea's link, please? I'm going to drop your link, of course. Let me say the nephew didn't feel well. Yes, I'm close to LaShawn. Oh, okay. Kathy, do you think she'll come talk to me? Hey, Lakia, happy Monday. Yeah, Kathy, do you think she'll come and have a sit down conversation with me? All right, let me drop your link, Sweet Pea, really quick while I wait on her response. Because this is actually interesting. It really is. And was that LaShawn that I've done searches and newscasts and a lot of behind the scenes? Okay, Kathy, salute to you. Congratulations to you. Keep doing that. Don't stop the fight. Keep being a voice for these kids, okay? Let me drop Sweet Pea's in. LaShawn, you can ask her. How do I get in touch with LaShawn? Thank y'all for dropping them links. So they were with the stepmom with the sick baby. A sick 2-year-old would still not be that tired just to go right to sleep if the baby was that sick, that he was that lethargic, that was in need of an MD. Hey, Tracy, happy Monday. She's on Facebook. Okay. Anyway, oh shoot. Oh my goodness, I made a mess. Is it just LaShawn on Facebook? And thank you, Kathy. I appreciate you. She was like, yeah, it is. Okay. Thank you for dropping the link, y'all. Thank y'all for dropping y'all links.
They all woke up at their normal time that Saturday. She made breakfast for everyone, and then Diamond and King each took a bath. And at around 10:20 a.m., Suzanne started to notice that King was really feeling unwell, and Diamond had already gone to lay down in Eugene and Suzanne's bedroom. And so Suzanne was like, maybe this is a good opportunity for everyone to kind of chill out and take a nap. So she placed down in bed with Diamond, and she laid down as well, and pretty soon everyone drifted off to sleep. And in the next 40 minutes, something happened that changed this entire family's life. 40 minutes later, around 11 a.m., Suzanne woke up and realized that neither King or Diamond were in the bed with her. And she didn't immediately panic, thinking they likely hadn't gone far. Diamond maybe went down to look for some food. Maybe she was trying to get King a snack. Maybe they were playing. But after a quick search of the home, she realized they were no longer inside the house. So Suzanne set off to check the neighborhood. From what I've seen described, Diamond had a tendency to wander off on her own, and many different disabilities can lead to things like elopement. It's a very, very common thing. And so this was something that Diamond was known for. And she had done this frequently enough in her previous neighborhood that all the neighbors knew her. They were aware she would go and wander. And so if anyone saw her, they would just go out there, walk around with her, and then guide her back home so she wasn't by herself. But this was a completely different story because she was now in a new neighborhood. Nobody knew her. She wasn't familiar with her surroundings. So it was uncertain whether anyone would help her if they saw her, or if Diamond could guide her and King back home if they had wandered off from the house. But there were a few things that Suzanne was really banking on when it came to finding Diamond and King. Due to Diamond's disability, she struggled with her mobility. Like I told you before, she did have a limp that slowed her down. So when she did wander off, historically, she never got far. Plus, King wasn't feeling well, so he also likely was not in the position to go very far from the home. So when Suzanne checked the entire neighborhood, screaming out Diamond and King's name, and found no sign of either of them, that's when panic really began to set in. Suzanne immediately called Eugene and let him know what was going on, and he flew into a panic and rushed home from work to try and search the neighborhood for himself. And they also went ahead and made a call to the Gary Police Department to report King and Diamond as missing. Eugene's initial theory when he spoke to the police was that he believed King had likely woken up from his nap early and then decided to head outside to play while everyone was sleeping. But Diamond, who absolutely loved being with King and considered herself as babysitter, likely would have chased after him if he had run out the door. He noted that if she had just ventured a few houses too far in any direction, she wouldn't have been able to find her way back home. This was such an urgent situation because not only are we talking about the equivalent of 2 young children going missing in a place they were unfamiliar with, but Gary was also dealing with a severe heat wave, and finding them as soon as possible was absolutely critical. Although Diamond was 21 and appeared to be a young adult, she was incapable of caring for King or even properly caring for herself for an extended period of time. It was also terrifying because communication or lack thereof was a significant concern. King was only 2 years old and could only say a few words. He would be unable to communicate with anyone that he was lost or where he lived or provide pretty much any useful information. And Diamond, while not nonverbal, she rarely spoke, and so
Okay, I got questions though. So when he left out for the house, I wanted to, what time was that? What time was it that the Diamond's dad left out for work? Oh, they were extra locks. Hey, Ken, what up, sister? Happy Monday. And so my next question is, this is daytime. Kathy, correct? from her report, because she said they got up for breakfast, right? They got up, got their showers, got their baths. Hey, Juju, got up for breakfast and stuff like that. Happy Monday, Juju. And then after they ate breakfast, it's like, why going back to sleep when we just, that's why it's not making sense. Like, hell, we just got up. He left at 6 a.m. Okay. We just wake up. Which, in daycare, it's like that, really. She eat breakfast by 7 and then by 11:30, nap. By 12, no later than 12. By 11:45, we're laying them down. So I'm trying to see the timing and stuff. Okay, sister. Go ahead, King. Get you some rest. Take care of you, okay? At least the measures we're taking. Hey, Raw, what up? Happy Monday, sister. As an adult, can't even get into deep sleep in 40 minutes without taking a sleeping supplement or something. He went to food for less after leaving the house. Okay. Hey, Lizzie. You really can't sleep with the 2-year-old. She said 9 at first. Why was Diamond given a responsibility to care for a child when she's nonverbal or cannot communicate? That's good, Sugar Bear. Hey, Belma. Happy Monday. Getting ready for work. Listen, okay, sister. I'm sorry, 40 minutes. That's what I'm trying to see.
If someone didn't know her, they likely weren't going to understand what she was trying to tell them. And so consequently, she also wouldn't be able to explain that they were lost and they needed help. This situation is every single parent's worst nightmare come to life. When the police arrived on scene, they promptly decided to check the entire home just to make sure that this wasn't something else, that someone hadn't entered the home when everyone was taking a nap, maybe tried to lure the two of them out to abduct them. They just wanted to cross their T's and dot their I's, but they ended up finding no sign of forced entry, no sign of a struggle. And so the prevailing theory remained, in the authorities' eyes as well, that the two had walked out on their own. And again, since they couldn't have gone far and the neighbors were unfamiliar with them, the police decided the best bet was to begin going door to door to see if anyone had maybe taken them in without realizing who they were or where they live. They could have been 5 houses down, for all anyone knew, safely eating a snack or a meal with a neighbor who just couldn't figure out their names or where they belonged or who their parents were, and was just trying to get them comfortable before calling for any help. They also were hoping that they would be able to maybe speak to people that saw them walking by and give a direction they may have gone in. But every door they went to, Diamond and King weren't there, and no one seemed to have seen them. Friends and family quickly printed out flyers and began spreading descriptions of both King and Diamond as far and wide as they could, hoping that someone would spot them and call in with information, because they're obviously not in a car. They likely didn't get on a bus. They didn't get in an Uber or a taxi. They're going to be on foot somewhere, and they're going to catch someone's eye. And while time is always of the essence in a missing persons case, this situation was on another level. They also decided to focus a considerable amount of their attention on the local restaurants. That was one of the first places that they wanted to search. No. So as I mentioned earlier, PWS causes chronic hunger. And to kind of make it more clear, it's not like you're hungry all the time. You're just a little hungry, you need a snack. It creates an extreme need for food. And that extreme need can lead to desperate actions to satisfy that need. Eugene noted several instances where Diamond had gone to more extreme lengths to get food, such as taking items off of grocery store shelves and eating them while locked in the store's bathroom. She would sneak food pretty often, and every thought essentially revolved around her next meal for her. It was part of her disability. So if she woke up from her nap and chased King outside, once that excitement wore off, she likely would have immediately been seeking something to eat. Yeah. And so this ended up leading to their first potential sighting and a lead on their whereabouts. Employees at a nearby McDonald's ended up catching wind of Diamond and King's disappearance. I can't confirm which McDonald's this was, but to give you a better idea of the surroundings of their neighborhood, they lived really close to a main road where there's a bunch of different businesses and restaurants. A lot of them are closed down or abandoned buildings, but there is a McDonald's, I want to say around 2 miles down that road, so it would have been a really straight shot to get there. But these employees claimed that Diamond and King came in there just before they were reported missing, so they did not know to like keep an eye out for the two of them, and they were clearly searching for food. And so the employees provided them with some at no cost, but no one was.
And then that didn't trigger nobody. Because you can look at Diamond and tell. You can look at Diamond and tell him what was her behavior because she was nonverbal. So how did y'all not, how did y'all communicate? Y'all knew they was hungry. That y'all could tell. I'll give y'all that. But at the same time, to be nonverbal, y'all didn't see anything wrong with seeing her with a 2-year-old at the McDonald's. Nobody like that didn't capture anybody's attention to say, It don't look too right, but let me see. I want to call somebody. They didn't call the police. Okay, Sherry C, thank you. Karen said lies. Kathy said food temperament would have to be directed to her mother. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what does that mean, Kathy? Speak kind of my language, just a little bit. Food temperament would have to be directed to her mother. Oh, like what's her communication? Right. I got it, Kathy. I got it. Yeah. Especially with her being nonverbal. Yeah. That should have raised plenty of red flags to somebody. Does she get angry? Kathy, did she get angry? Hey, Jessica Lee, what to do, sister? What to do, my rider? But Samara, remember, she just moved there. So she didn't know the area like she knew the area back where they moved from. That's interesting. So the stepmother never left the house.
Sure where the two of them went afterward. Surveillance footage from this particular McDonald's location was reportedly gathered, but the search continued while it was being reviewed by Gary Police Department to verify if this was in fact Diamond and King. The police interviewed more residents in the neighborhood, and Diamond and King's family began searching everywhere they could think of that Diamond and King may have gone. And at this point, their theory was starting to shift towards a potential abduction. It would be very challenging to overlook Diamond and King. Pretty much anyone who interacted with them would have quickly realized that they both need assistance. The only way that they could have gotten far enough away from the neighborhood and remain undiscovered was if someone had picked them up and taken them away.
Right.
However, authorities refused to issue an Amber Alert for either of them. Now, Diamond was 21, so she did not fit the age criteria. And there's different criteria and requirements that have to be met per state for an Amber Alert. Typically, there has to be identifying information in regard to a vehicle, and the person has to have been at least seen or strongly believed to have taken the victim. And again, and it's 18 and under. So Diamond just really wasn't fitting that criteria. And King kind of did, but despite that, they opted not to release the alert for him. Now, there were various reasons that I've seen cited for this decision, and I'm not able to confidently say what they told the family, but one of the things that I did see on many sources was that authorities believed that Diamond was family and she didn't necessarily abduct King and didn't pose a physical threat to him, which is one of the requirements in Indiana for issuing an Amber Alert, is that the person needs to be in imminent threat of danger, harm, death, shebang. And so they didn't believe he fit under any of that criteria. This is incredibly frustrating because King met the age requirement. He also did leave the house potentially with Diamond, and while it may not have technically been,
but she's nonverbal, and if she's nonverbal, and it's being said that she's nonverbal. Yeah, that's Hey, Shakira's Sunshine. Hey, it's over here. It's raining. I'm sorry, Shakira's. I'm sorry. Happy Monday, though. They've been missing since July 25th, 2015. Yeah. 10 years. So yeah, she was nonverbal. They were in danger. There was a chatting about, yeah, this makes no sense. Yeah, definitely should have qualified her for Amber Alert, Sherry. I agree. Um, yeah, Lori. I don't. You're welcome, Shakira Soulshine. You're welcome. Let me run that back because I gotta hear this again because this is crazy to me.
And I'm not able to confidently say what they told the family. But one of the things that I did see on the many sources was that authorities believed that Diamond was family
Right?
and she didn't necessarily abduct King and didn't pose a physical threat to him,
That's
which is
crazy.
one of the requirements in Indiana for issuing an Amber Alert, is that the person needs to be in like imminent threat of danger, harm, death, like the whole shebang. And so they didn't believe he fit under any of that criteria. And this is incredibly frustrating because King met the age requirement. He also did leave the house potentially with Diamond. And while it may not have technically been an abduction, I don't think them citing that she's a family member means anything, because every single Amber Alert I've ever gotten where I'm from, they're like with their mom or with their dad. That changes absolutely nothing in my opinion. And while it may have been true that he wasn't in danger from Diamond specifically, their situation was inherently dangerous because she lacked the ability to care for him. So they refused to take action. And I don't know if they believed doing this was to protect Diamond, like they didn't want anyone to think she was dangerous or, create any sort of stigma or idea about her. But I just don't necessarily think that was the best choice. So in response, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children sent out a mass text to every cell phone in the area, hoping to draw attention to the situation. And so at that point, it was just a waiting game to see if anyone stumbled across the two. Meanwhile, they continue to explore possible scenarios. Now, the possibility that Diamond might have been communicating with someone online and left to meet them was also briefly considered. I personally think the only reason that was brought up is because some people made assumptions based on her age without an understanding of her mental capacity. And so her father did come forward and say that she had access to a cell phone, she had access to a tablet, but the only phone number she knew was her father's. And it's not really clear if those items were taken with her. In one article I saw that they both had been left at the home, but I have not seen authorities confirm or deny either way. But her father also reiterated that she couldn't read or effectively communicate. So that theory was quickly dismissed. 4 days into their disappearance passed, and there were still no signs of their whereabouts. And so a large-scale search was held, but not just by local police, but also the Department of Homeland Security. Because of this heat wave and the overwhelming amount of abandoned homes and businesses in Gary,
she had a phone, and sometimes in them little phones, they could probably create a phone where she could, have his number in there stored and teach her how to, in the day school, how to call them and stuff. Because, they're pretty extent in some of those day schools. They do try to teach the kids those kind of things. Who is King's mother? Her name is LaShawn. LaShawn Abe. Okay, Kathy. Did she understand how to go online? I don't know, Lori. I'm going to ask Kathy when she comes back. I might have missed it, but how long have they been missing? 10 years. King's mom. Not that King, the nephew King. Yeah, King is Diamond's nephew, and his mother's name is LaShawn. How long has she been living with Dad, who didn't have custody? That's a good question, Alicia. That's a good question. King's mom is Diamond's sister. Yeah, Shakira. Somebody knows something. This is ridiculous.
they focused their efforts there, and it was going to be a huge task. Gary's population has been steadily declining for decades, I think since like the 70s. So the amount of abandoned homes and businesses is astronomical. And I'd heard this through my research several times, but when I finally got on Google Maps and started to look at Gary, Indiana, you can even tell through Google Maps that a lot of the town looks like a ghost town. It just looks like some post-apocalyptic situation. And so the idea was that maybe the two of them got overheated and tucked to an abandoned home to escape the sun. Or maybe it got dark and they needed somewhere to sleep. Or maybe Diamond went in home looking for food. Maybe the building was condemned and they went in and accidentally got trapped. It was just a really scary situation and such an overwhelming amount of places to check. So over the course of 3 days, they searched a 24-block radius looking for Diamond and King, but there was still no sign of either of them. So with no real direction to go in, they decided to bring out a canine unit to find a trail to follow. Now, the dogs did in fact track both Diamond and King's scent out of the house and down to an alleyway behind their home. Their scent was followed to a nearby set of train tracks, which is about 4 or 5 blocks south on Clark and 9th. And then they were tracked to a nearby gas station on Clark and 11th, a few blocks further. But the dogs lost their scent after this. And I just want to be very clear that I'm unsure the order in which the scent was tracked. I'm not sure if this is like a clear line of direction or two separate places entirely they were tracked to, like from two different dogs. But this, just like the McDonald sighting, does seem to possibly add up. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward walk to this location. The gas station would have had food, but nothing seemed to come from this information. Local police brought in helicopters. They continued participating in a few searches, but at this point, it was mainly family. And the one thing continuing to bring in hope was there were plenty of sightings. Like, this is a case where there's probably more sightings than any other information put together. One witness came forward claiming to see Diamond collecting cans in the 300 block of Madison Street in Gary. Now, this location would have been over 3 miles away from their home, which is a pretty good distance, but it doesn't seem that far-fetched in my opinion. Again, it's a straight shot down that one main road I spoke about from their home. It passes by the close.
I can't see this baby. Now, the baby don't feel good at 2. But any age, they're cranky. But at 2, no medicine. Being drugged in the street. Here, there, everywhere. But they're being sighted. That's the scary part. People are seeing them. The person that seen them last and said she was picking up cans should have been questioned. Hey, New York girl, hey, so happy Monday. The tracks was closed. It don't sound right. That's what I'm saying. Like, who said she was picking up cans? She doesn't have the mobility mindset to pick up cans. She just doesn't. She has no mindset into pick up cans and the value a can can bring you. She doesn't. Nobody's seen them kids outside of her. So then why are they all saying they got sightings, Karen? And why did the dog sniff them out to the tracks and the gas station? What's your theory? Denise, I don't know. Yeah, picking up cans with the baby. Seen them at the McDonald's. So why is all these sightings for nobody to really see them? That's scary. This case is getting scary just listening to it. Like, what? Yep. Because they would have seen the baby, Olivia. Somebody was driving them around. Nah, Diamond wasn't collecting no cans. Novi, that's a good one, Novi. No cameras. At the McDonald's, no cameras. At the gas station, no nothing. Jessica's like, because clearly people turning a blind eye. The tracks was closed. So let's go to this, Karen. Why all the people saying that they sighted these kids? So they was still in her. I don't know. Jessica, man, look, this story is already taking a twist that I don't know.
closest McDonald's that I can find. However, again, I can't confirm this is the McDonald's they allegedly were spotted at. And while Diamond probably wouldn't understand why she would be collecting cans, that kind of seems to be a main thing when it comes to this particular sighting is why would she have been doing that? I feel like her helpful nature means that if someone had taken her in, like a homeless encampment or something, and then was like, hey, I need you to do this so we can get money, she happily would have. But this sighting seemed to fizzle out. More sightings came in, placing them at the McDonald's again, but still no surveillance seemed to prove it. Someone else claimed to see Diamond at a bus stop near the home, and they said Diamond was asking people for food, which again seems right on track. And they claimed someone gave her $50, but nobody knows where she went from there or if it was really her. And a lot of these sightings were not only called into question, but also a very scary possibility because King was not mentioned in a vast majority of them. And so where was he and what would that mean if Diamond and King, for whatever reason, got split up? Another witness came forward claiming to have seen the both of them at a bus stop in Hammond, which is where Diamond used to live. And so this kind of got my mind going because it's only a 20-minute drive away. If someone came up to her and was trying to communicate with her, I wonder if she would have been able to say like Hammond as the last place that she remembered living. So maybe someone put her on a bus to Hammond and then she ended up at this bus stop and didn't know where to go next. But it doesn't seem again that any of these could be confirmed or denied. And by August 3rd, the searches were all called off, citing a lack of resources, leaving Diamond and King's family to physically search all on their own. Now, since it became more likely that the two had potentially been taken, authorities did decide to kind of go down this route and see where it led them. And they first and foremost started to narrow their focus on local sex offenders. And to everyone's shock and horror, there were 21 of them living within a mile of Diamond's home. And I just want to take a second at this point to remind you guys that there is a sex offender registry out there. You can go online and you can check and see what the situation is like around you. Just
not 21. Oh my goodness. Made my stomach hurt. Kathy said, I believe that whatever happened the night King was dropped off. So King was dropped off that Friday, Kathy. Oh, he took a bath to bring down his fever. Then the police and FBI wasn't helpful to the family. Hey, Pam W., what up? So happy Monday. Furthermore, the police station is literally 3 blocks up from 5th Avenue headed east. I wonder why the police wasn't trying to get involved. What do they know? Like, really, what do they know to not take this case so serious? Was it one of theirs? I'm just asking because I've never heard of this. What is her bio mother? Where is her bio mother? Maybe she was trying to get to her old home. And they said everybody knew him in the neighborhood, though. Have you seen this podcast? But if everybody knew him and seen him over at the bus stop, I'm pretty sure somebody would have contacted. Because who put them on the bus? How are they getting on the bus? How are they getting on the bus? Somebody tell me now. How are they getting on the bus? With what money? To where somebody doesn't say something's wrong with this child. And she has a 2-year-old. By this time, y'all know they smell and everything. Hey, Drea. Salute. Happy Monday. People don't just disappear. The bus station was permanently closed. Wow. Hey, Tarsha. Happy Monday, sister. Yeah, have you seen this podcast? Yeah. This is wild. I can't believe what I'm hearing. And it's just like nothing, like it's serious to me. Cause I don't know, like it's not making sense. But not like this. Yeah, the baby would have been crying, Olivia. He'd have been crying. He don't feel good, y'all. And he's gonna cry anyway, hungry. He's not eating like he used to. Everything's changed. Where they sleep. Come on, have you seen this podcast? Yeah, you right statements. Yeah, they gave up too easy. And they wasn't doing anything, like no Amber Alerts, no nothing. No, just no nothing. Make it make sense. Thank you, Spilla. That's the same question we've been asking. I love you. I love you. Okay, okay. All right, China Poo. Love you. The police won't tell us she ain't anything. That's why I'm kind of getting like, they one of their boys just have one of those ooh, child, let me word this correctly. It sounds like one of the boys was involved. And they won't tell her the mother anything. Like, no. No. Yeah, because they wanted hushed up, the queen. Where does the dad work? Is there any law enforcement in the family? That's a good one. That's a good question.
Just for your own safety and
Hey,
awareness, authorities began combing through each one of these 21 sex offenders, questioning all of them, and eventually they seem to have a solid lead. They actually publicly named a person of interest, which, just like in my last video, there is a difference between a person of interest and a suspect. And a person of interest is typically just someone they want to speak to. So I believe they only indicated his involvement. At least they've never come forward to say that they had any. So his face was plastered on the news, and authorities spent weeks searching for him. Not only are they realizing they're surrounded by potentially 21 people that might have intentions of harming Diamond and King, but there were also remains of a young boy found in Chicago that they were waiting to get a positive ID on. Their families were also starting to receive several prank calls and social media messages and just awful comments from people claiming to have information or to know things or be responsible for whatever happened. Someone legitimately fully confessed to Eugene on social media and then later retracted their statement, saying that it was all just a joke. I personally thought jokes were supposed to be funny. Another individual claimed they were tied up in a nearby basement, prompting an immediate search of that area. But ultimately, Diamond and King weren't found. People were just talking to talk and saying these horrible, horrible things and putting these awful ideas out there to the family, wasting resources and time saying everyone cannot how all of this felt. But ultimately, they located that sex offender and were able to kind of rule him out as being potentially involved. Right. The remains did not belong to King, and the investigators seemed no closer to finding answers. Now, as August was coming to a close, more sightings ended up emerging, and these in particular have stuck out to me the most out of anything else in this case. And I'll kind of get more into why towards the end of the video. Possibly in Chicago, about 22 miles away. Now, the first sighting involved a report that someone saw them both in the Roseland neighborhood of Chicago at a White Castle. And interestingly, this was also the first claim I've seen where the two were accompanied by another person, another woman. But unfortunately, no description of this woman was ever provided to the public, nor was the validity of this sighting confirmed by authorities. Now, a second sighting came in from the exact same area. I'm talking down to the same Roseland neighborhood, and was at another Fast and Diamond with two unknown women at Checkers. But again, this sighting was neither confirmed nor denied publicly, and no descriptions of the two women were ever released. Now, it is possible that these reports could have been mistaken for a similar look, but mistakenly identify another 2-year-old and 21-year-old warrants a search through every single house in that area. But unfortunately, I don't think that is at all what happened. By 6 weeks into the investigation, police decided to make a pretty strange, so frustrating for several reasons. It's another one of those double-edged swords where you want to be happy that they're doing thing and they're out there, but at the same time, it's like you're a little late. You're a little bit out.
6 weeks later, they're issuing out the alert for Diamond, but not an Amber Alert for the baby. Who's the two people? Did Checkers not have cameras? Nobody in the vicinity of Checkers? Was it just Checkers by itself? Was there no other businesses in the area? But she's saying definitely the police wasn't doing any like searching. Like it's like they get a lead and be like, okay. So that's weird to me. Oh, that's because 1% doing what they want at our expense. So Diamond take medicine to regulate. Diamond was still, even if she took medicine to regulate behavior, it's not going to stop her to lay Alicia, and she's still not gonna. It's not going to make her think over a 5-year-old capacity. Me too, Gina. But it's very telling. It's very telling. Let me take it back just a second.
2 unknown women at Checkers. But again, this sighting was neither confirmed nor denied publicly, and no descriptions of women were released. Now, it is reports could exist, but for someone to mistakenly identify another 2-year-old and 21-year-old in the same neighborhood more than once, in my opinion, warrants a search through every single house in that area. But unfortunately, I don't think that is at all what happened. By 6 weeks into the investigation, the police decided to make a pretty strange move, in my opinion. They issued a silver alert for Diamond. And this is so frustrating for several reasons. It's another one of those double-edged swords where you want to be happy that they're doing something and they're putting an alert out there, but at the same time, it's like, you're a little late. You're a little bit late. 6 weeks. It's too late to be exact. 2 months is a very long time.
Yeah.
It's going to do at that point. It was also frustrating because they had refused to issue an Amber Alert for King because the situation didn't meet the specific criteria exactly. But here we are. Silver alerts at the time were only for elderly people. So when people hear silver alert, they're going to be looking for an elderly person, not 21-year-old Diamond with the mental capacity of a 5 to 7-year-old, which to me makes this choice seem even less sensible than issuing that Amber Alert for King to begin with. And to me, it's also so hard to believe that an Amber Alert stating a 2-year-old was last seen wandering with a cognitively impaired 21-year-old wouldn't have captured everyone's attention. Like, had they put that out there, I can't help but feel like both of them would have been found. And it was even more frustrating for the family because there had apparently been a witness that saw King and Diamond put into a vehicle, just further suggesting that someone else potentially abducted them. But because this witness couldn't remember exact details about the vehicle, the tip was dismissed. It just seems like more fit into the need for an Amber Alert and that criteria than didn't. And they just wouldn't do it. And so the silver alert, in my opinion, just kind of seems like a slap in the face.
I would do all the news press conferences ever to wake it up, Kathy, if I was LaShawn. Because they're hiding something. Because there's no way that every lead and every little detail they could have brought these kids home, it's like, okay. And they tell her nothing. They tell the mother nothing. Yes, full of true. Yes, Sherry. Whose toes? That's the question, Kathy. Whose toes? They said they will be stepping on toes. Toes of who? Y'all law enforcement. Whose toes? Was the family out searching, or do they feel like she's with a family member? Me too, Denise. Hey, Brett. Happy Monday, sister. Mm, this is a lot. I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting this at all, but let it finish.
And not just that, in the silver alert, they made no mention of King, despite the fact that he could have been a significant identifying factor in the search for Diamond. Why wasn't it on there? Why, as well as the public voiced their concerns and questions similar to what I just said regarding this Amber Alert that was never issued and the strange Silver Alert, but the local police remained tight-lipped. They would not answer as to why they made these decisions. And this seemed to mark the beginning of a breakdown of communication and effort from law enforcement. It was like at this point, a wall went up and everything just went downhill. At the end of September, just after this alert had been put out there, Eugene held a press conference and he had invited the local police department to be involved. And this was another moment where my jaw just like dropped to the floor. Since when do families themselves arrange press conferences to try and keep the case in the public eye? I have been doing this for like 8+
Kathy said, here's the cherry on top. After a news broadcast that LaShawn and I did, we spoke to someone from the police department, and they plainly stated that this is a hush-hush case. Hush-hush case. Make your own conclusions. I mean, y'all not reading between the lines that, is it because they dropped the ball, or is it because they're with someone that is part of the police department? Because we have seen, she said, the police. It wasn't handled correctly on so many levels, Jessica. It's something bigger, Alicia. Yes, Sugar Bird. Exactly. Yeah, this is Gary, Indiana. Because how can your case go forward if nothing's being done? Every lead, every direction is nothing. 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 I we spotted her. Who lives in that little town? Well, it was 2 people that called. Where did that call come from where he retracted his statement about them being down in the basement? Whose numbers did these go back to? They trace everything else. They can trace those calls. You hear me? Me too, Jessica. Mm-hmm.
Plus years at this point, and I have never seen that in any of the cases that I've personally covered on my channel, or it was so few and far between that I don't even remember them. Why is the family having to do that? And the police refused to come to them. Press conference, Eugene expressed the importance of not forgetting King and Diamond. He wanted to make sure everyone remembered that they were still missing. People still were out there looking for them, love them, care for them, and they needed to be brought home. But he also decided to make a plea out there to whoever may be holding them if that was the case. And again, at the time, they felt this was a huge possibility. The family said that they had no intentions of pressing charges on anyone. They just wanted King and Diamond to come home. And this also kind of ties into what I believe is a huge theory at the end of my video. But not only did he make these heartfelt pleas for Diamond and King to come home or someone to come forward, but he also started to express some of the issues that they had had with the investigation and potential leads to this point. Now, specifically, he brought up the gas station the Canines were led to on 11th and Clark. Diamond and King's family had apparently asked that gas station for the surveillance footage to be able to confirm if the two did in fact end up there. Maybe they could be seen getting into a car. Maybe that's why their scent trail ended. But allegedly, the gas station would not hand the surveillance over. And so the family got so frustrated that they held a protest outside demanding transparency. And while local police wouldn't show up to the press conference where Eugene mentioned this, they did end up later making a statement about this claim. They said that they already had the surveillance from the gas station and also claimed it was being reviewed. And so this just kind of shows you where the breakdown in communication is, because the family didn't even know they had any of that. And at that point, trust seemed to be broken. So they also weren't convinced that authorities would reveal it properly or that they actually were looking into it. Now, eventually, authorities did come forward and they claimed that the two weren't seen on the surveillance footage at the gas station, but their family has still yet to be able to review it for themselves. And honestly, please explain to me what that would hurt. If a family wants to sit down and look at, hours of surveillance footage just to be sure to know in their heart that their loved ones were not there, a place where canine dogs tracked them to, why wouldn't you let them do that? And to make matters worse, in a later press conference, the families of Diamond and King expressed concern over suspicious behavior from gas station staff at that gas station. So they said that shortly after Diamond and King went missing, that gas station actually shut down, which I don't think in and of itself is strange, considering the quick turnover of a lot of businesses in the area there and how things become abandoned relatively quickly. But the employee who primarily worked at that gas station then transferred to another location. And so the family decided to track down this employee and approach them to ask whether they had seen Diamond and King, what they remembered. And allegedly, the employee reacted with absolute horror at the mere mention of the situation. Like, they were too scared to talk. They didn't want to communicate with the family. And so their family thought that was so weird. There must be something someone's hiding. Like, something had to have been seen. This isn't making any sense. And the same kind of situation occurred with the footage from McDonald's. Authorities claimed they had it, they reviewed it, but little information was provided to corroborate what these employees said they saw. So around this point in time, everything came to a halt. Leads slowed down before coming to a complete stop. The news already hadn't really focused on their disappearances much to begin with, but after a brief moment of attention, it returned to silence. So Diamond and King's family were out there on the streets of Gary alone, still searching day in and day out in abandoned homes and buildings for them, putting themselves at risk, exhausting themselves, because if they didn't do it, they knew nobody else would. In October of 2016, over a year later, the Northwest Indiana Major Crime Task Force agreed to look into their disappearance again, hoping that maybe fresh eyes would find something new, maybe something had been missed, and they could finally bring King and Diamond home. They spent a week at the Gary Police Department pouring through the files, re-interviewing everyone involved, and even sent off a few pieces of evidence for further testing at the crime lab. Now that kind of put a flag up in my brain because I'm unclear what those items were. What kind of evidence could they possibly have that they would need to send in for further testing? But regardless, they ultimately called it quits and found nothing new. Over the next few years, a handful of leads did continue to come in, and honestly, all of them were so tragic. Someone claimed that King and Diamond had been dumped in a body of water in Hobart, which is a town about 12 miles east. And so this information was acted on. Authorities conducted a search in the area in that body of water, but they claim that nothing was found. However, I'm unsure what the search exactly entailed. Was the body of water drained? Was there sonar used? Were canines, like cadavers, involved? And so it kind of raises the question of whether more could potentially be done by volunteers to further confirm they aren't there. That is, if authorities would even let volunteers step in to help, which again, I'll get into in a little bit. Several witnesses also came forward claiming that they had personally spoken to a man who had been bragging about essaying Diamond. He allegedly afterwards then killed both Diamond and King and buried them in Ironwood Park in Gary. And the descriptive way that this person spoke about it, like spoke about King screaming the entire time they were doing it. I mean, who puts that much detail into something if they're making it up? And so that was horrifying for their family to hear. And so this particular park is only about 5 miles southeast of the home. And considering the possibility that a sex offender may have encountered them on their walk, and given the 21 offenders in the area, this information was taken very seriously by their family. And authorities did claim that they searched the area. But again, no one knows how extensive that search was. According to the last time I saw a family speak about it at a press conference, They don't know if they dug it up. They don't know if they just briefly went and took a walk around. Like, no one knows what exactly was done to be certain Diamond and King weren't buried there.
Karen, I'm gonna drop the link. If you would like to come up, I would like to talk to you. If you know how to do it, you just click on that StreamYard and you come up. Karen, you said no, that's not true. They you searched the area yourself, so you dug through the whole park. I'm just asking. Hey Corey D, happy Monday. Hey Shani, happy Monday. Hey Betty, happy Monday. Salute to my riders. So Betty, you're saying you should check the park, but I'm saying like that would take some digging. And that's crazy how the person said they bragged about graping this young lady that has a 5-year-old mindset that is mentally impaired. Happy Monday, Corey D.
I don't know if they have the name of this man that was going around claiming this, and if authorities were able to question him. It's all just kind of up in the air. But this tip seemed credible enough that 2 search organizations, including Texas EquiSearch, were willing to come and dig up this park to check for both King and Diamond. And Texas EquiSearch does not just willy-nilly act on tips. Like, there has to be something solid that brings them there. They know where to search. They know what equipment to use, like ground penetrating radar, all of these things. And so if they were willing to come, I feel like there's really something to this. But unfortunately, the Gary Police Department refused their help, wouldn't let them come in. And so understandably, this was confusing and upsetting for the family. The Gary Police Department had stopped conducting their own searches. They'd ceased in-depth investigations, citing a lack of resources. Like, that was the specific reason that they gave. But if that were the case, you would expect them to welcome this outside help. So why were they consistently turning people down? King and Diamond's family have held several press conferences to express the same issue repeatedly. People reaching out to them from their nonprofits equipped with their own funds and equipment and experts, people ready to go. Like, just give us the green flag and we will get out there. But Gary Police Department put a stop to all of it, and it is so wildly frustrating. Diamond's mom even managed to find a private investigator that was willing to work with them pro bono, which, let me just tell you, is not something easy to find. But the investigator just needed access to the advanced files, like the advanced missing person case file, instead of just the basic one. And Gary Police Department refused, citing that the investigation was still active and open.
Wow.
And the number of times just in this last month alone that I've seen police refuse to release case files after years of stagnant investigation is honestly just about to send me at this point. So unfortunately, that private investigator who was so willing to do this work couldn't move forward and had to call everything off.
Aaron, 3 years later, it's still a mystery about what happened, but this family says no matter how much time passes, they have not lost hope.
Candles flicker outside the Gary home where Diamond, Bynum, and her nephew King Walker were last seen 3 years ago.
It's just so hard for us to keep going through the same thing over and over and over again.
Tonight, their family members and friends gathered on Matthew Street. This year, they would have been celebrating King's 5th birthday.
I was just supposed to protect him. And I deal with it like every day.
Ariana Walker, King's mother, says no amount of time can help with her son's disappearance.
I don't know how to move forward from it. I don't know how to be okay. It's a constant.
Let me take it back to see who LaShawn was. Wait a minute.
About what happened, but this family says no matter how much time passes, they have not lost hope.
Candles flicker outside the Gary home where Diamond, Bynum, and her nephew King Walker were last seen 3 years ago.
It's just so hard for us to keep going through the same thing over and over.
Oh, that's Diamond's mother.
Tonight, their family members and friends gathered on Matthew Street. This year, they would have been celebrating King's 5th birthday.
I was just supposed to protect him. And I deal with it like every day.
Ariana Walker, King's mother, says no amount of time can help.
Where's Ariana? Kathy?
I don't know how to move forward from it. I don't know how to be okay. It's a constant battle every day. We got any answers, and it's just we don't know what else to do. We're trying to keep the faith and believe that the Lord is going to bring them home.
From the minute they disappeared, Walker was extremely worried because she says Diamond does not have the ability to take care of King. Diamond has a health condition that leaves her with the mental
How did
capacity
she lose
of a
him?
7-year-old.
Diamond
Neither one of them could speak very well. So that was the biggest concern. Like if they were to meet someone, they couldn't tell them like where they live or anything.
With few tips coming to police, missing persons advocate Vera Giles Norris says it's up to Diamond and King's family to keep their names in the public.
It's only so much the police could do. And one of the things that we say in our
she's talking about they did what they needed to do, but they didn't. So I don't understand what she's talking about. She's like, it's only so much the police can do. Yeah, but they did nothing. I mean, from what I'm hearing from Kathy and what I'm hearing from, and I'm pretty sure she did her research, this content creator. So yeah, I'm a little bit confused of what she's talking about. The police could only do so much. Yeah, they did nothing though. This is why we're here. They did nothing. So yeah, this is unfortunate. This is very unfortunate.
The father of missing postal worker Kiara Coles is joining forces with Walker.
I want her to join in this battle I have too, because she has a battle as I have. So we work together, maybe we can conquer this battle together.
It's just very important that we support one another during these times.
In July of 2019, Nick Mick did share an age progression of King, which also I'm sure is such a conflicting time for everyone. I think you kind of like see an age progression put out there and you're like, oh, good. Like, this is exciting. But when you stop and you like pull the layers back, King's mom had to see what her baby possibly looks like. This entire family is seeing this age and growth in years that they have missed, which I'm sure is just this overwhelming, conflicting feeling, because they're also understanding the reality that they may never get the chance to see that face, to see King ever again, while also hoping that this is really what he possibly looks like, because if he's out there, someone has got to recognize him. Diamond and King were also finally entered into NamUs. It took a few years, but that was finally done. So if they pop up anywhere, as a Jane or a John Doe, thankfully there can be a match made. In 2020, there was a balloon release where unfortunately no one showed up. Things had just slowed down so much, and it was just their family fighting alone with a handful of activists in the area. And just before King's 7th birthday, they tried to call the police department for an update, but they got no call back. The level of heartbreak in this case is just earth-shattering. But despite it all, their family didn't lose hope. In 2021, they spoke of what they would do when they all reunited with Diamond and King, to take a vacation, to laugh and learn about safety and strangers and all of these different things. And I think it's so beautiful that they have the ability to experience such a tragic and awful thing where no certain outcome is promised, but still remains so optimistic after so many years.
And Taman, well, this day has been a painful reminder for relatives for the last 7 years, not knowing where Diamond and King are. But today they reconnected with investigators about their efforts to find them.
Heavenly Father, we ask that you give us the strength.
It may be 7 years since their disappearance, but big prayers still went up to those highest.
Karen, what role do you play in this, Karen? Because I see you speaking a lot and stuff like that. So are you friends of the family? Or you just joined the search party? What role do you play in this, love? And I would love for the grandmother or the mother to come and talk.
On Monday at a vigil outside the Gary Police Department for the safe return of Diamond Bynum and King Walker.
Diamond and King can't speak for themselves. They need me. They don't have no one else to speak up for them. So here we are.
LaShawn Walker has relied on faith and prayer that one day her daughter and grandson will be found. For some time, LaShawn was frustrated with the Gary Police Department for not doing more with the investigation. But today she showed up at the police station and demanded a meeting.
I feel better.
the fact that I talked with you and you were willing to come out and speak with the press and let everybody know that they're still missing.
Commander Jack Hamady says there have been new leads, and the latest one was from 5 months ago, and that took them to the East Coast, but that led police nowhere.
If we could get a good lead towards an avenue, it could be anywhere in the country.
They also continue to advocate not just for Diamond and King, but also every missing child and adult in the area. In 2022, Diamond's mom and King's grandmother obviously spent Mother's Day alongside other moms missing their children in Daly Plaza, raising awareness and hoping to keep eyes on all of these cases. They don't want anyone to forget that they are still missing. Damon Lamar Reed also started a project in support of these families called Still Searching, and it features portraits of missing women in Chicago and surrounding areas, and he created a beautiful painting of Diamond and King to help continue this awareness. Now, there's still little talk about Diamond and King in the media. There are a handful of podcasts and social media posts, people trying really hard to make sure that they aren't completely forgotten, that they're not sucked into this black hole where old missing persons cases go to just fizzle out forever, because they deserve so much more. There's obviously lots of different theories about what could have possibly happened to both Diamond and King, but I'm going to get into what I personally so deeply feel is a possibility. I believe Diamond and King did decide to, for whatever reason, go take a walk outside of the home. I don't think they had intentions of going far, but again, given the offenders in the area, they wouldn't have to go far to run into some pretty serious trouble. I feel like if they had gone into an abandoned home, they would have been found by now. I have very personal knowledge of having a loved one with a disability and some of the things that tend to occur along with that. And unfortunately, one thing that is very common is that there are a lot of people out there that seem to, for some reason, believe that just because someone is disabled, they're suffering or neglected. I mean, all sorts of these assumptions are made simply because a person is disabled. I don't understand why people seem to have that mindset, but it's definitely a pretty big problem. And so I personally wonder, and it was the first thing that popped into my head before I even fully researched this case, was what if someone saw King and Diamond walking and approached them? And when they realized that Diamond was disabled, they felt this urge to protect them from a presumed danger, something they convinced themselves because Diamond was walking out on her own. And so they just went ahead and let that assumption cannon go off in their brain, and they wanted to keep them safe. You would be horrified to know how often things like this happen. I think someone may have convinced themselves that they were protecting Diamond and King and doing the right thing by taking them in and not telling authorities or family about finding them. And with Diamond being unable to communicate properly and King being so young, they likely never would have been able to tell anyone, ask anyone for help. King probably wouldn't even remember his previous life, that he lived with anyone else, that his mom's out there looking for him. I just really hope that that possibility has been considered, because that would mean that there's a large chance that Diamond and King are out there somewhere safe, potentially, hopefully, and can be found. Doctors may have seen them both, especially Diamond. King may be in school somewhere, and he'd be at the age where he's on social media. You can't miss Diamond's smile. So that's why I felt so pushed to share this story, because I so strongly feel this is a possibility. When I was listening to Sarah Turney and Voices for Justice cover this case, she brought up a very glaring point that I do think needs to be mentioned here. And it's the fact that this case probably didn't get a lot of attention for a handful of reasons. First and foremost, we're talking about two Black people. We are talking about someone with a disability. And unfortunately, that always means less clicks. That always means less views, less media coverage. Sarah mentioned the fact that that's not even about being woke or, you know, whatever you want to call it. It's based in fact, it's based on analytics. And I want you guys to watch this video. Look at the numbers of it. You can even go back through all of my videos, find the videos where there's a person of color, and see the difference in views. And that's why it is so important to share these cases. I don't care how old they are. I don't care how little coverage they got from local media or on social media. Everyone deserves to have their story told. And the more we can get this information out there, the more people that can hear these cases. There's an absolute army of people in the true crime community. Imagine if this was your family. Imagine if this was your daughter or your nephew or, you know, your son. I speak all the time about how we have such a responsibility in the true crime community to be ethical and to make changes and make a difference. We are not the media. I am not News Channel 7 or whatever the heck you want to say, that are bound by these different restrictions, that are bound by all of these things. We can change things on social media. We can make a difference. And this is a perfect example of that. You guys, I might not be the biggest channel out there, and that's fine. I can live with that because I will always create a space here for everyone. It's not about numbers. It's not about money. It's about getting these stories out there.
This is an interesting story. It's an interesting story because it might have happened in that house, but why is the police, if the stepmother did this without the help of local law enforcement, why is it so hush? Why can't the private detectives, the private investigators look into it? Why is it so much they wouldn't let the people come in that do that for missing children? Why wouldn't they allow them to go to that park and search it? No, Kathy. No medical, no nothing. No nothing. No, ma'am, they can't do it. I'm going to drop my email in the chat. I appreciate her because was that her that came in here and asked me about it? Because I think someone came in, Kathy, under have you seen us, Diamond Bynum and King Walker. Is that the grandmother? Or the mother of King and Diamond, Kathy? Oh, she was her. Okay, that was her. Was that the mother or the grandmother? That's crazy, Kathy. Hey, Ray. Salute. Happy Monday, love. Okay, Karen, that was LaShayn. Karen, if there's any way you can get in touch with LaShayn, I would love for her. Hey, Shirley. Happy Monday. I would love to have a conversation with her and talk about it. Yeah, I agree, Cindy. Because they dropped the ball. The mother of Diamond. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna take some news, some today's news. We need a good news channel, Kathy, for her to go ahead. I would hit them all up. I would hit every news station up possible. I would call CNN and all of that. Yeah, that's what I would do. I would call the heavy hitters. Oh, today is King's birthday. She's doing a press conference. Thank you, Shirley. Karen, will you take my email down, please? I don't know where I put it. Let me see. I thought I dropped it. I know I thought I dropped my email. Let me drop it like this. Yeah, they do need some fresh eyes to look at this case. It's horrible. It just sounds sick and twisted. And who was this guy that said he did her like that? Right, Kenya. Right. That's what's up, Kathy. I know that's right. That's my email, guys. If y'all talk to LaShayn, she did come through last night. I appreciate her. LaShawn. I apologize. LaShawn, you did come through. I would love to know a little bit more if you could, so we can get this story out there. It definitely needs to be out there and talked about. So I want to talk to LaShawn and hear more, because I know it's more. I know it's more to this story. It's definitely more. Am I ready? I don't think so. How big is the corruption when it comes to our missing children? Why is this going as a cold case when it was first started? Everything was okay. We're not following up on leads. We hear this, we hear that. We're not telling the mother nothing. We're just Okay, statements. Hit me up. Let me know. I was like, we're ready. Yeah, I want to see what's going on. It is sad. So I want to talk to LaShawn and stuff and see if I can set something else up. I'm going to be coming back to later on tonight. I want to talk about Kimani for a second. Some stuff that I'm interested in. I want to hear y'all thoughts on it. I really want to hear y'all thoughts on it. But yeah, I've been invited to her virtual memorial as honorary guys that speak to me. So I got to figure out what I want to talk about. At her memorial. I do. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. This story is sad within itself once you hear about Diamond. Yeah, and salute to you. Have you seen this podcast for having those families with you over the weekend and stuff like that, doing that, hosting an event and stuff. Salute to you. Congratulations. Keep it up. Thanks, Denise. Yeah. Right. It's something about that, Alicia, that I'm not overlooking the family member, but it's something more sinister indeed. And the fact that a man can brag, because that's what happened with Relisha Rudd down here in North Carolina. Thank you, Spilla, that down here in North Carolina. So the daughter went to the bar drunk, talking about how she unalived Relisha. And that's how they reopened the case after all those years. Go back and look at how long that story is, and it's been reopened. So I thank the person. Hey, Nene Barnes, happy Monday. Okay, Olivia, I'll see you later. My nephew went missing October 18, 2019 from Humble, Texas. So have you seen those podcasts? Is putting alert out there for her missing nephew, Andre Moulton Jr. He's been missing since October 18th, 2019 in the Humble, Texas area. When you listen to it, something is missing in the story. Yeah, it is, Samai. Hey, Shane, what it do? Okay, I love you too. Okay, I'll check it. I haven't checked it, son. I haven't checked it. But I got you, sister. Yeah, it's something to this story. I don't like it. I don't like it. Everybody share this story out. Where is Diamond Bynum and King Walker? 2-year-old King Walker, and at the time, he was sick, walking with his disabled auntie, who was nonverbal. Who is nonverbal? Who McDonald said, hey, they came in here and thank you, Novi, my sister. Who they said, hey, they came in here and got something to eat, but I want to know, how was the communication? If she didn't talk. We know King didn't talk. He's 2. We're not saying 2-year-olds don't talk, but they said he didn't talk well. Where is Diamond Bynum and 2-year-old King Walker, which is now, King is what now? Because he was 2. Is he 12? Yeah, he's 12. And for the people that called in, you're sick. For the people that called in and did all that twisted shit to this family, is just as sick as the person that did something to them. That's even hiding them out. Even hiding them out, you're sick. Yeah, Denise, very. I was like, done. Thank you, Alma. Thank you, Lori. She said strange. Yes, Sherry. It's very strange. I know you do. Have you seen us podcast? Mm-mm. And that be the problem. They want us to forget. They're hiding so much. They want us to forget Diamond, Bynum, and King Walker. And guess what? We're not doing it. We're gonna wake it up. We are gonna wake it up, riders. We're gonna wake it up. We're gonna help Kathy and LaShawn shake some shit up. Cause they want answers, right? So do we. After hearing the story, we want them. We want answers. Why couldn't somebody that they hired go in there and private investigate this? That's it, chick. That's it. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in with me today on this story. I can't wait to see if yeah, Sherry. I can't wait to see if LaShawn reaches back out to me. I think the story is going to get deeper than what we thought. And God knows who's all involved. And I hope to God it's not law enforcement. I do. I'm not putting it past them at this point. Something's going on. Hey, Juanita. Hey, sister. Okay. All right, King. Thank you, sister. Yeah, we need more answers. It takes a village. Yeah, it does. Yeah, you're right, Miss Fire Green. And Sunshine. Okay, Sunshine, she just dropped it for you right there, okay? Thank you, thankful. Thank you, T. Now we helping. We doing this together. We all listen to the same thing. And it just wasn't right. You know, once you're a story ain't right, you like, shit. What are we listening to? What are we listening to? What is this? Why are we here again? Why are we right here again? 10 years ago. 10. Salute to each and every one of you guys. I'll see you guys at Shank Rocks. And I will see y'all later tonight. I am going to see you guys later on tonight. I want to talk to my riders. Statements you do. Get her information, statements. Get her information and tell her. Hey, Sherry, thank you. Okay, Sherry C, thank you. All right, Kathy, and I hope you got my email, Kathy. I would love to talk to you and LaShawn together on the platform, and let me know y'all schedule, and we'll set it up. We could pick a day and everyone call in. That's fine, Miss Fire Green. I don't mind people calling in. I really don't. Thank you, Vissy. I'm gonna go back and listen, Juanita. I'm gonna go back and listen. And I'm gonna do it tomorrow, matter of fact. Relisha Rudd. I'm gonna definitely do it. With some stuff that so I talked about it for just a second, but not I don't know, but it ain't gonna be too late. It's not gonna be too late because I gotta get up early tomorrow too. Yeah, I gotta get up early. I had a good day today, good productive day. So I got one more big productive day tomorrow. So I'm gonna go handle that. Okay, Nene. All right, you guys, get out of here. Go enjoy the rest of y'all. It's Monday. Get the kids settled because I will be in here later on tonight. Like I said, how long I'm gonna be here, I don't know. It just ain't gonna be all night, but for most of the night, drop the link. Can't wait to get my shirt. Yeah, you should be getting it this week. Thankful. Let me know. Let me know. Alicia said she's ready to wear hers. I had another Ma hit me up yesterday, like, I'm ready to wear my stuff. I was like, me too. I got some more stuff coming in, so I'm excited. I am excited. I'm excited too, thankful. Karen, I dropped the link for you, so I know I'm very impatient, so I'm doing good. LaShawn's coming in now. Oh, okay. Let me drop this link. You're welcome, Samaya. Y'all welcome. Y'all so welcome. I'm gonna go get me something to eat. I don't know what I want. I had a sandwich earlier, guys. A sandwich. You hear me? I had a sandwich earlier, and now I just don't know. My allergies are getting the best of me. On top of being sick, it's just not good. Giving Miss LaShawn time enough to come in. My grandma and dad still is in Gary. I always wonder where they was. Salute EW, happy Monday. Salute to you, tacos. Yeah, I could. I don't know. Cause I don't want pizza. Definitely don't want chicken. Sick of any. I don't know. Thank you, Statements, for sending me those. Hey, Booster, what it do? How you doing? Thank you, Samad. Allergies doing me dirty, neighbors. Thinking I'm doing drugs. I'm sneezing. Girl, God forbid I sneeze. What's going on, Booster? How are you? Long time no see. It's Cinco de Mayo, so tacos. Okay. Yeah, I'll go grab some tacos. I got something, Denise. I got something. She said, gone on, lay Lisa in the house. Hey, fam. Hey, Lisa. Yeah, I was waiting on somebody else to come up, Booster, really quick. So, yeah, if you like to come up really quick, that's fine. I'm waiting on the guests to come, but yeah, that's fine. I made oxtails and sparkle when you come to Philly. Okay, Tarsha, for sure. I think we're coming back up that way in the summer before the summer ends. I think that was saying July. So I'm excited. I love the ocean. Chipotle for us. I'm tired of cooking. I had Chipotle maybe last week. I did. I enjoyed. I'm gonna come another time. Okay, Booster, you always welcome to come. You are always welcome to come. I was just waiting on the guest, Booster. Someone said they wanted to join the platform. So yeah, but I'm doing nothing, Booster. You could have came up. What I say, Juanita? I forgot that quick. Yeah, I know I be smoking and stuff, and I just be all over the place with my thoughts here lately. Yeah, Lalizi, it was something about my Chipotle last week that just wasn't, I don't know. I just wasn't like, oh, I want Chipotle again. Usually I'll get that, but And then I was on the phone with Lizzie the other night when they got my tacos wrong. I was super upset. So I hate when they get food wrong. And you really like got a taste for something because it throws me off and I don't want it anymore. Okay, Arlene. know I'm like, do I get tacos from the taco truck? But they're not even close. Mm-hmm. Then I had some pasta like 2 weeks ago from Cheesecake Factory. It was really good. I just had a taste for pasta, so I'm gonna keep dropping a link and see if she's gonna pull up for a few more minutes. She said I got neck bones. I was thinking about cooking neck bones. Hey D. Okay, D. How's school going? And I hope you're feeling better. Yum neck bones. So it's noodles and liquid IV for me. Yeah, Lizzie not feeling good. So prayers for my sister D, for my sister Lizzie, for Diamond, my sister Diamond, my sister Zilla, my sister Top Flight. She got to go home today, but still prayers to her. Let's keep her home. Yeah. Regina, Dior, prayers up to all my sisters and my riders. That's not feeling too good. I know, Juanita. Y'all hear me? Yesterday, I was in bad shape. I didn't even show it. But yesterday, I was in bad shape. Today, I'm in bad shape, but not as bad as yesterday. Not as bad, but I don't like feeling like this. I really don't. But everybody that didn't get to catch the replay, go back and catch this replay, guys, of what happened. Where is Diamond, Bynum, and King Walker, nephew? Here go Booster. I knew you was going to say something. Booster said, man, I got okra, pinto beans, cornbread, oxtails, and fried chicken. For all y'all that's talking smack about cooking. That's how Booster said it. Man, they came in here like they doing some cooking. Let me put mine down and let them know. I make baked chicken, broccoli rice, broccoli with cheese. It sounds good, Drea. Mm-hmm. I remember this case. Yes, interesting. It's a very interesting case, D. I know, thankful I got to get back into cooking at home. We are getting over something. Yes, CH, you did say you wasn't feeling well. And my sister MNPD, MNPD, yeah. Salute to her, prayers to her, okay? She's so hungry now. Right, me too. Anybody know how to fix lamb chops? Jesus. Yeah, you're a member, CH. You must hear me say thank you for becoming a member when I first started. I don't think you were still here. But if LaShawn, I'm still dropping the StreamYard link. You just tap it and you come up. Yeah, prayers to everybody. Ooh, that sounds good, Juanita. Thank you, Booster. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you. Oh, hey, help us find Diamond. You can come up. You can hit the link, LaShawn. You just tap on the StreamYard link that I dropped. It's gonna have my name is Parker. You just tap on it, and you just come up. She said she got you on the lamb chops. Dee said she loved lamb chops. Me too. I don't know how to cook them. I'd be lying. Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate you for the prayers. Thank you, Betty. And so prayers to my sister Betty, too. Yo, my sister Betty. Lizzie, I need some good liver. Some good livers. I want them dry fresh. That's when I'm going to go get me some livers. Dry fresh. Hey, Pookie Poo. Happy Monday. Yes, Pookie. I got me a fresh batch here. I've been turning them up. But LaShawn, you just hit the StreamYard link club. And y'all know I got all the other ones, the lemon heads and all of that. So yeah. I'm gonna keep dropping it and see if she can get it. I love chops. Lisa, go to the wholesaler to have them cut right. Oh, y'all, whole daycare was closed for 2 days. Wow. Yeah, that's major. Hey, Jug. Hey, nephew. Yeah, that's a major illness right there. You're welcome, Betty, my sister, my rider. It's raining good here. Sick of the rain. I don't even want to talk about it. Yeah, I got the lemon head ropes too, Ray. At least I wrap mine in aluminum foil with onion and olive oil. Fill my pan with the same water and bake it on 350 for about 30 minutes. Okay. Hey, Jordan. Hey, love. Hey, so stay rider. Okay, Jordan. Praying for you. I'm gonna drop the link under your name really quick, and it says StreamYard, LaShawn. I'm sorry. But there it goes right there under your name, and you just tap on it, and it'll bring you up on the platform with me. It says Miss Parker, and then you'll see StreamYard. Just click on that StreamYard link, and it'll bring you up here. It'll just ask you connect your mic and camera, but if you don't want to be on camera, you just keep it off, but connect your mic. You're a YouTube stalker. Don't be a YouTube stalker now, Lisa. CC out of nowhere. I know I'm gonna have to get on Amazon because I've been paying $4 for the ropes. They're $3.99 at the gas station. Mm-hmm. CH, you went out while you were sick? Nice at them boom buckets, okay? This case is weird, very weird. A YouTube dementia person can walk away from their face plastered. Yeah, you're right, Erlene. Well, that sounds good, Lisa. Gotta cook what you going on, okay? Lamb loin smothered on mushroom gravy. Okay, I know that's right, sweet honey. I'm trying to drop this link for LaShawn so she can get it. Kathy, if you're still around, you could tell her just click the link. It'll tell her connect her camera and her mic. Just turn your mic on and you can keep your camera off. See, Capricorn, I went to Walgreens to see if I seen them. They were $6 in CVS. I know they lying. Yeah, Jordan, I'll be on tonight. I ain't going. Lisa, can you fix me a plate too? Look at Boost. The Boost salad. You just had like oxtails, chicken, leg of lamb, and all this other stuff. What are you talking about? Can she make you a plate? You need to make her a plate. Yeah, it's too much food going on, Lizzie. It is. I'm gonna drop my email for you, LaShawn, if you can't get it. Cause it's 7:03. I'm gonna give you like 10 more minutes. And I understand if you can't get it, we can set it up, okay? So you can come back and you'll have time. You won't have to rush or feel rushed. Cause I know it was a lot with you doing a press conference and stuff. But I am dropping my email for you to get. And I would love to hear from you. I would love to have you on the platform. Yes, Lisa, I love putting a lot of love in my food. Happy to cook for my family. You couldn't taste them. Oh, CH. I don't know why you got them while you were sick. You know when you're sick, you can't taste anything. That's how I know I'm sick, but I'm not that sick. My ears hurt. But yeah. I'll look into CH. I haven't checked anything. I went out and handled my business. I had some stuff to take care of today and tomorrow. So I went and did that, and it was productive. And I got one more day to knock some stuff out and make it productive. So trying to get my rest on top of not feeling good, trying to minimize my coughing and stuff like that. But yeah, good day, very good day. And Mother's Day is coming up on Sunday, guys. I'm excited. Do you have a calling number? I don't, Karen. I don't. I dropped my email, Karen. Here goes my email. Tell LaShawn, to get in touch with me in a day that she's not busy, and I can because I would love to reopen this anyway and talk about it again, because this was just a quick she said I don't see my name. What do you mean see your name? You see my name. See Miss Parker? Where I dropped the link, it says StreamYard, Miss Parker. I'm going to put it in the chat again. My name. See my name right here? You just tap on that and it'll bring you up. And if you tap on my name and where it says StreamYard, it'll just say when you come up. Let me see really quick. Boy, Boost, I thought you wasn't calling in. I'm trying to get my guests to call in.
I just wanted to tap in and see how you was doing. A long time I never talked to you, you know? So I just wanted to say hello. I ain't trying to disturb your show or nothing like that, but, you know, we good like that. I just wanted to say hello to you. You know, everybody good? Your family good?
Yes, we're good, Booster. How you been?
I can't complain. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got a sad story, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, I ain't gonna...
For a Booster. What's going on?
I gotta eat, you know?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, you know, old Southern Louisiana dudes down here, you know, we was taught young to cook, so, you know, just in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look like you're doing good. I just wanted to tap in and say hello. Like I said, I hadn't seen you in a long time, so I just wanted to tap in and say what's up with you. You know?
I appreciate you. What you doing back in the YouTube streets, Booster? Like, what's about you back? Have you been around or you haven't?
Nah, I hadn't been around. You know what I'm saying? I just like I seen you was live. You know, I was cooking, so you know, I turned around and I said, "Well, let me tap in. You know, show some love."
Okay, I appreciate that, Booster. Thank you.
Hey, well, you know what I'm saying? Y'all take care. You know, hey, and I don't know if you got some little people or not, but happy Mother's Day to you if you do. You know.
I do. I got all new people on the Booster, so you know, feel free to go flirt. And stuff.
I'm just gonna finish cooking. And happy Mother's Day to all the ladies in the chat too. Happy Mother's Day to y'all. Hope y'all have a beautiful day. You know what I'm saying? So, Miss Parker, love you, baby. You take care. All right.
To Booster, thank you so much for stopping through. Thank you. Man, shout out to Booster. And Booster does cook. He really does. He really does cook. Miss Parker ordered 4 bags from Amazon. I didn't like them. I got the blue ones. Get the watermelon. You like watermelon? Because they only got the watermelon with the green apple and the cherry with the blueberry. So if you don't like cherry or blueberry, then yeah, you're gonna probably be out of luck. Just like I eat the apple, but I only like the watermelon. That's my favorite. What'd you say, Spiller? Yeah, thank you, Booster, so much. Booster said happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. So thank you, Booster. I appreciate that. Look at Capricorn. Hey, Booster. Hey, Queen Gigi. Okay. Look, y'all get a room. Flirt a little bit, and then let's get back to business. I will, because it's not that kind of live. I was LaShawn, I hope you got my email address so we can set it up so I can tell you I can send you a link straight to your Facebook if we're texting, however, emailing or however. Look, they done a boost. Stop it. Y'all gotta stop showing up when you have company now. Can't take them anywhere. My husband sent you a message on a video. Okay, I gotta check it out. Hey, Queen Gigi, my baby. Not just a couple of questions about how to find family. Oh, okay. Hey, you want your camera off?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can turn it off.
I turn it off.
Oh, you got it off. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Just a regular day for my melanated people, honey. Natural is beautiful. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. So, you came in the chat last night, so it instantly had me intrigued to go look up some stories about Diamond and King. So I instantly was on it as soon as before I went to sleep last night. I was super interested and I started digging up all of these stories. So it brought me here today. And I love how she titled it The Missing and the Vulnerable. And this story is crazy. LaShawn, can you tell me anything about just a little bit about yourself and how did this happen? What's going on?
Well, my name's LaShawn, of course, and Diamond is my daughter. King is my grandson, but that's Diamond's nephew. A lot of people get it mixed up thinking that's her son because I say my daughter and my grandson are missing. They went missing from Gary, Indiana, in 2015. They were living with she was living with her dad, and King just visited for the weekend. When his mom goes to cosmetology school, they usually babysit him for the weekend. So on that particular weekend, the stepmom said she fell asleep, and when she woke up, they both was gone, and we haven't seen them since. But Diamond has a disease called Prader-Willi syndrome, which is an obese disease, which causes her to eat and not know when she's full. So it's slightly retardation as well. And she would wander off and sometimes not know how to get back. They just moved to Gary, Indiana in February of that year. And I guess, I don't know if she wandered off or somebody took her, or I don't know. We don't really know because she said she was asleep. So, but we know she's known to wander, and she didn't know the area. They was from Hammond before they moved there, and she knew Hammond, so she knew how to get around, but she didn't know Gary. So we're assuming that she wandered off and couldn't find her way home, and I don't know what happened after that. So we still
So
been
how did
looking.
she get in the custody of her father? Is that too much?
Well, when she was a little younger, when she was like in maybe 8th grade, she went to move with him because the doctor was calling DCFS on me saying that they was gonna take her from me because she was gaining too much weight. And even though they know this disease, she has a disease that causes her to eat, and she gains more weight from food we eat than the average person. Like she'll gain double the weight. So you got to watch everything she eats. So they had to put her on a strict diet, which she wasn't having it because that's why she gets, leave out the house because she want junk food. So um so mainly that's the reason why she was with her dad. He was supposed to help her lose weight, and I have 7 children, so that was just to help me out and help her out to be with him because he didn't have anyone else with him. So it was supposed to have been temporary until she lost the weight, and then she was supposed to come back with me. But he moved out to Indiana, so therefore, um, that lost DCFS jurisdiction or whatever. And then she got a little older, so she was there for a while, and she ended up graduating from high school and stuff like that, and staying with him. And then, I guess that's when they moved out there, and I don't know how she got out the house because they said that they were supposed to have double locks on the doors where you have to lock the door with the key in the inside and the outside. So I don't know what happened after that because they were
So
supposed to put the lock of the keys up from her.
mm, so she had a cell phone, right? So did she have that phone with her on that day?
No, she had a cell phone, but she didn't carry it with her. She left it at home.
And did you ever hear like any problems like from your Diamond's father saying that the girlfriend just didn't like her? Or there ever any indication that she was jealous of your daughter, didn't like your daughter, or anything like that?
Not at the time I didn't, but after they went missing, she spoke with a couple searchers, people that was helping her search, and
Mhm.
they expressed that she said that Diamond was always around and she never had time for her husband because Diamond is always there, and she, they can't have romantic time together. She can't go shopping and things like that. So before that, I've never heard of it, but yeah.
And at this point, like, did anybody have cameras? Like, it's so many people saying we seen them there, we seen them here, we seen them over there. And I know that had to be so wrenching for you. Did anything
Mhm.
ever stamp out to be true? Like any sightings?
No, other than the people saying they saw them, but never saw them actually on the cameras. Cause there was a couple stores that said that she came in, but when they checked the cameras, they were never seen on the cameras at all. So I don't know how true that was.
And so you never got to see any kind of camera footage, nothing.
Mm-mm. No.
And anybody ever said what color the ladies was that they seen them in the other town? Like they seen them in the car going to a rallies or something. Nobody ever described those women, what kind of car, nothing.
No. No. That's what make it so hard. Um, we haven't had any positive sightings at all.
Um, um, yeah, this happened in Gray, Indiana, you guys. So how do we help you get this out there? Because from the podcaster that's talking on this video, she's saying that you've received no help. Like even when y'all wanted a private investigator, they was told no. Even when y'all told about a lead of someone saying what they've done inappropriate things with Diamond and that they took them and buried them in this place, and they turned the organization that was going to do it for free down. Why?
Right. Yeah. The organization that was willing to help us, they needed Gary Police Department permission in order to help us search. And I emailed them. I went to their to the station so many times. I went to the mayor. I kept going trying to get them, trying to find out who was working on the case. First of all, because they don't contact me when I try to contact them. I don't know who's working on the case. Then they just giving me a lot of problems. And then they when I finally found the chief, no, not the chief, the, I don't know who it was. It, what was it, the commander. When I finally got in contact with the commander, um he said he don't mind them doing it, but I'm like, I sent you numerous emails and everything trying to get you to, to give them permission, because they needed that permission to do it. And they finally said, oh, well, we don't mind, but you got to sign off on it. You can't just say it
Yeah.
with your mouth. You have to give
Yeah.
them written permission or whatever. And they never did it. They never did it. So now it's a bunch of other people that's in the police department and in charge of all that. So they done hired a whole new staff, and I still don't know who's working on her case.
So so is it better with the new staff, or are you still getting the same co-treatment?
The
Like,
same thing. I went to the prosecutor in Lake County, and they're supposed to be getting on them about it, but that was months ago, and they still haven't got back with us. They said they would talk to find out who it is. They would get back with me and everything, but they still haven't did anything. So I'm just stuck right now. I don't know what else to do. I don't know which way to go. I've been trying to it's this other search team, NWI Search and Rescue. I just collaborated with them because they're
I want to get
working
you
with.
connected with somebody else too, LaShawn. No need to. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I have
That's
to.
okay.
One of my subscribers said, "I have resources. How can I help?"
Okay, okay. I appreciate any help I can get.
Okay, so you got my email. I'm gonna post it really quick. If you got a pen and paper, come right down. But I'm gonna get you in touch with Casey the bodyguard. I'm gonna call Casey the bodyguard. He's helping with a missing 13-year-old girl right now. Janiyah McMichael Rogers. So
Okay,
he's
yeah,
been
she's
really
one of the families that we've been working with too.
okay. Okay, he's awesome. So yeah, this is Let me see if I can get in touch with him really quick and
Okay,
see.
I appreciate you having me on and getting their name out and get cuz it's been really hard, like, and I don't know what else to do. I'm just so it's about to be 10 years July. It's going to be 10 years, and King's birthday is Sunday on Mother's Day.
Mm.
He's about to be 12.
Yeah, this has got to be hurtful, not getting anything from the people that's supposed to serve and protect, and this is just where we're at with it, and it's super sad. Um, they've showed us a lot. This hold on, sorry,
That's okay.
texting. And also, I think you should go to the Uncensored, right? She's a content creator on here as well, just to keep this story going far. And I think it would be great if you go and talk to her as well. I want you to take my email down, and you make sure you contact me, okay? And I
Okay.
want to direct you to some other people so we can keep pushing this story that just sounds so. Uh, I don't know
Yeah,
the
I sent
words
you an
for it.
email last night, so I don't know if you got it.
Okay, okay. But there goes my email for you or anybody else that didn't catch it. This is awful. Nobody's helping. Yeah. Hey Shay Wright, happy Monday. Wow, this sounds suspicious. My prayers go out to the family, to you and your family. So they're sending prayers up to you and your family in the chat. Um,
Thank you.
this has got to be one of the hardest things, not to get nothing. Every time y'all try something different, you're turned down, and nobody's helping. I even heard that, it was times where it was just, I think, you, your daughter, and her husband by yourselves searching.
We searched a lot of abandoned houses, and we didn't even get an Amber Alert for King. Because they said he was with his auntie. If she's a special needs person, so I feel that he should have still been able to get an Amber Alert. I believe if we would have been able to get the Amber Alert, we probably would have found him by now. Someone would have said something, but we didn't. We got a silver alert, and we didn't get that till like months later.
I don't get that. I really don't get that, for the love of me.
Mhm.
How was she with King? How was the stepmother with King? And also, how was they after the disappearance of Diamond and King? Was they off? Was their energy off? Any vibes that wasn't just like, did you just
Uh,
seen something different?
Unfortunately, I was never able to see them interact with one another because it was the part that when I come to the house, her dad wouldn't allow me to come in the house, and he would say I can only come visit her and sit on the porch with her. He wouldn't allow her to go anywhere with me. She couldn't come to my house anymore. She couldn't go anywhere with me. Like, I couldn't take her to the store. I couldn't take her anywhere with me. So I was in the process of getting a lawyer so that I can get my rights, because he like took all my rights away. And I'm like, you treated me like she's been taken away from me, like DCFS said I had to have visitation rights or something, and that's not the case. So I'm just trying to I need to get a lawyer. I needed to get a lawyer. I was working on that. I got a job, start working so that I can get my rights back. but she came up missing before I got a chance to go through, the process.
Wow. Mm-mm. They're saying prayers up. They said it sounds suspicious. Um, so do you, in your mind and in your heart, do you feel like Diamond's father needs to be talked to again and the stepmother?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe it needs to be, um the police need to revisit it and start all over from scratch and find out, because I believe if she was with me and she came up missing, I would have been in jail.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been in jail because they would have been like, that's child neglect or danger endangerment or some stuff like that. So why no
Mm-hmm.
one is nothing done, nothing, nobody's no cause, consequences for nobody's actions, and they've been missing for 10 years. Like, that's not right.
Hey, Maria. So do you feel like they left the house? Do you feel like all these sightings are real, and or do you feel like they never left that home?
Some of them seem like they was real because they were seen in Chicago. They were seen, well, somebody said they seen them in Chicago. And the people that explained how they saw her, no one mentioned certain things like that in the news or anything. So the things that they described about her, no one ever said anything about it. So um it could have been true.
So Karen saying put everything out. She said talk about the other times that she used to walk off.
Um when she walked out, when she was living in Hammond, she would always walk out the house. She climbed out her bedroom was on the second floor. She climbed out the window, jumped out the window. So that's how determined she is to get out, to get food and things like that. When she was coming to my house, she got out the house, like she would get out the house at 5 o'clock in the morning when everyone is asleep. So she climbed out a window, and then I started locking the doors with a nail in order to try to keep her in. Then that's when she started climbing out the window, because locked the door. I mean, put a nail in the door to try to keep it for her being able to open it. But ever since she was little,
Wow.
she would always get out the house looking for junk food. And so that's why I didn't understand, like, by them moving. The first thing I thought about when she moved, they said they moved to Gary. I'm like, well, she's gonna go, because it's like a lot of vacant places and things like that in Gary. So I'm like, and she don't know her way around. So when they was living in Hammond, they put bells on the doors and things like that, so they'll know if she try to get out the door, they'll hear it. But there, I don't know if they did all that, but I was told that they put the locks where you have to open the door from the inside with a key. So what I'm trying to figure out is, how did she get to the key when the key was supposedly be put up from her to avoid her from getting out?
Mm, yeah. And it doesn't sound right either that she said they woke up, got in the shower, and lay right back down. It was like, what time was breakfast?
Right,
You know what I'm saying? And
right,
what was they doing that was so ready to make you put them down?
right. And
Again for
then
sleep. How long did she stay gone when she would wander off? What's the longest she stayed gone?
I don't know, because I didn't find out till later, after she was after I didn't find out till later on, that she was getting out. I didn't know, because her dad wasn't keeping rapport with me about her the things that she was doing and what was going on. And it was the weird part about how a guy that my ex-boyfriend that I was dating, he lived right behind them. Right, they, like, you go out their alley and you go to their house where my ex-boyfriend lived. It was coincidental. I don't know how that ended up happening, but he said they used to hear them, Michelle, which is her stepmom, arguing all the time. Diamond and her would argue all the time, and then she would put her out the house. So I don't know. That's what they said they heard, but I was never told that before.
Mm.
So
You're not gonna hear a lot before. Was there ever any red flags of abuse with the father abusing Diamond or any of them abusing Diamond? Either one of them.
um, I'm not sure. I know when she started when sh- when she first was coming back to the house. Let me see. Can I back up? How can I back this up? Okay, when she first started coming back to my house, before he stopped her from coming altogether, um, she would start doing this screaming stuff. She would be screaming a lot, and you could be talking to her in her face, and it's like she tone you out, totally tone you out, and she didn't hear anything what you were saying to her, and I've never experienced that before from her before she went there, before she started staying with him. So I don't know what that was about, but he was telling me that she told him that someone in my house had molested her. And I was like, what? But he didn't tell me that. Well, my daughter told me that. And I was like, well, if you felt
Are
like
you talking
that,
about
why?
King's mother? King's mother told you this?
Yeah, no, they said, um, yeah, King's mom told me that her dad told her that Diamond told him that she was molested in my house. And I'm
Mm.
like, who would he say did something like that to her? And why wouldn't he tell me? Like, that's our child. Why wouldn't he come to me and let me know if he felt like this was going on? But he never told me. Every week he would just be like, "Oh, we're doing something this week. We're doing something this week. We're doing something." And he never ever came to me and told me anything like that. So she started coming back to my house after that. I'm like, well, if he felt like this, um, and I told him, I said, okay, if you feel like there's something is going on there, every time you bring her to my house, call me and let me know when you get ready to drop her off so I can monitor her and watch her. So he would just drop her off, and I kept telling him, like, you said you felt like somebody was doing something to her. Let me know before you just drop her off. So he
Real
still
quick,
wouldn't tell
LaShawn.
me.
Okay, so once you first heard it, what was your initial reaction, and did you call the CPS or anything?
My reaction was, why didn't you tell me this when she supposedly first told you? And did you take her to the hospital? He said he took her to the hospital, and they didn't show no signs of her being molested. So I'm like, so what are you saying? If she didn't show any signs, they examined her body, and she didn't show like she was torn or anything like that. What are you saying? He said the psychiatrist said that she has behaviors as of someone that's been molested. And I'm like, well, how the psychiatrist gonna tell you that she's not physically been messed with down there? So I'm like, that could be because you took her away from her mother and not letting her see her mother when she want to. That could cause her to react like that too, because she can't really talk
So
very,
you
very
saw her not
well.
talking. You thought that was because you thought Diamond saying this was really because she didn't get to see you. Come up with that.
I don't really even know if she actually even told him that.
Yeah.
I don't know if he just made this up, or what was the case, or maybe he misunderstood her, or what the case may have been. But if she didn't show no physical sign, because that's the only way I could see somebody molesting somebody, if you showed the physical sign that you're gonna be ripped down there or something, or you're gonna show some signs of bleeding or something. So I don't know how the psychiatrist can come up with this.
Yeah, that's pretty strange. Did you ever ask for proof? Like, can I see the paperwork? Just, you know what I'm saying? As a mother, you know what I'm saying? Just, I know it's hard to hear and stuff like that, but at the same time, like, did you just really kind of let him handle it and just left it alone at that point?
No, I kept asking him about it. He was like, well, I'm trying to get you to find out who did this to her. And I'm like, how can I find out who did this to her if I don't have anything to go on with what you're saying?
You're going out a little bit, LaShawn.
Hello?
You're going in and out. You're going in and out just a little bit. Can you hear me, LaShawn? I'm gonna kick you from the studio. Come back. I'm gonna take you down and hit that link to come back up. Okay. Okay. I heard her enough to say okay. They was doing something to her. Yeah, that's true, Sugar Bear. Yeah, she only took the father's word. Yeah, this is Diamond's mother. Let me keep dropping the link. Yeah, catch the link again. She said it's deep, and then she said talk about the day it happened. So when she comes back, I'll get back into the day. It's very sad. Yeah, it sounds like a lot was going on. A lot was going on. LaShawn did say she had 7 kids, so he took Diamond's father took his just to help her with the situation of her already having 7 children and stuff like that. So Karen, it sounds like a whole lot. I hope she catches the link. And if not, I would love to come back and touch on this story with her. I would love to have her back. Kathy, how old is Diamond now? How old would Diamond be today? Because if he was 2 then, he would be 12 now, King would. So, yeah. I know I see through you. Karen, why did you want her to start at the first day? She's 32 now. So she was 22. Right. Why didn't he report the abuse? 31. That's a good one. That's what I want to know, statements. Because that's why I said from a nonverbal child, she's not going to be able to say that she got molested. She's going to show inappropriate behavioral signs for sure. But where did they come from? How did they come about and stuff? So yeah. Karen, ask okay, I got her back. You can turn off your camera, LaShawn.
Okay.
So let me go back to the her saying that she had been touched. She's nonverbal, so how did that come about, LaShawn? Because there's no way she just said that out of everything being nonverbal.
Right. Well, she could talk a little bit. She could talk,
Okay.
but sometimes you can't understand some stuff she say.
Okay.
She's just not totally nonverbal, but she could talk a little bit.
Okay.
I
So
don't know
did
what
she
to
tell
say.
your daughter or did she tell your her dad?
She told her dad.
And he told your daughter.
Yeah, that's what he said.
So when that happened, LaShawn, are you in a bad area, LaShawn?
I don't know. I'm in the same area. I don't know. I'm at home in front of the house. But I don't know.
LaShawn, can we set this back up tomorrow for 7?
Yeah, that's fine because I don't know why it's making that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that way we can get more details and things like that. But thank you for coming up, and I'll see you back here tomorrow at 7.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you. You guys, LaShawn is in a bad place. She's out and about anyway and stuff like that. She just got done doing a press conference. She said she could talk a little bit. Hey beloved, happy Monday. So we're gonna find out tomorrow. It came out because she said she told her father that she had been touched inappropriately. So yeah, and he told King's mother, which is his other daughter. So yeah. Yeah, that's true, beloved. So you guys get your questions for tomorrow because she's answering them. She is answering questions. I want to go back to Kern, what Kern said. Talk about that last day. Talk about that day. So I definitely want to hear about that day. I want to go back to that day. And stuff like that. I got some questions for myself that I want to ask, and I don't want to be hard on her. This her celebrating his birthday today, so it's a lot. Yeah, I agree, Juanita. That's a good one. Well, I'm gonna ask that tomorrow. Nope, Jordan. Nobody helped them find him. No. Yeah, I'm gonna see if she can get all her medical records and things, and maybe turn it in. Was she ever in the doctor for that? Yeah, sweet honey. And they said that the doors get locked inside out. Allegedly, from what she said her last time of talking to anybody. Oh, you guys, my ears are so itchy, like everything hurts. Um, Said she would climb out the second floor window. But we're gonna bring this back tomorrow at 7. I'm gonna go look a little bit more into the case now. I'm definitely gonna go look more into the case because one video doesn't tell it all. But I think this content creator did an awesome job. I think she did amazing. Um, she always does. She always does. But I'm writing this down. Yeah, I want to come back and I want to hear another story. And I kind of want LaShawn up here with me while we hear it together. It'll be different. Yeah, Sugar Bear, but they said it was so many people calling in. Said one man even said he graped her, and he talked about how they buried her at a park, buried her and King at a certain place, and said that an organization that deals with missing kids had came in to talk. I mean, to help him, go dig it up and look and search. And said the police said no. Said the police wouldn't let them see surveillance or nothing. Yeah, I get it too, King. I do. Man, salute to everybody. Thank you guys that poured into the channel with the super sticker, super chat. Booster, thank you for the cash app. Thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that for everybody that joined the membership. Thank you so much. This is deep. This is interesting. And it's crazy how a case from 10 years ago will fall into your lap and you'll be like, what is happening? Who are the players in this? All the people that they were seeing with the two women, nobody gets to see surveillance. Nobody gets to go to the park and do this. Nobody gets to go do this and do that. It's like, I'm just not going. I'm not going. Yeah. I'm not going. I'm not buying it. Salute to everybody. Happy Monday again. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Switch Your Lanes with Miss Parker. Miss Parker, I love each and every one of my riders. I love y'all so much. For those that's out there in the rain, stay safe, okay? Get home safe. For my third shifters, I will be in the building. I want to have a conversation. I want to talk about Kimani Lateague. I do. I got some stuff I want to talk about with Tiara. I do. It's calling for discussion. I know, D. You see me over here scratching my ears with my knuckles like, it's just itchy everywhere and it hurts. So, yeah, I'll see you guys back here. Shank Rock will be live again in a few. So I'll see you guys then as well. Go take care of yourself, your business, get your wine, whatever. Because I'm going to have my Rellos and my candy. That's all I need, my Rellos and my candy. So I'm not drinking no Taylor Port tonight. None at all. I got to get up early tomorrow. So, yeah, I'm leaving the Taylor Port alone. You hear me? Y'all have beautiful meals that y'all prepared. For those that left comment section, had me so upset. The meals was beautiful for Sunday. Thank you, New York girl. Thank you, sis. I appreciate you. Thank you. Man, y'all made some beautiful meals for Sunday. Man, salute to each and every one of y'all. But what's our Mother's Day going to look like, y'all? Things that make you say, But I will be doing a live for the mothers, admiring us. I do. I think somebody has to get flowers virtually, and I want to do that, okay, with each and every one of y'all. And I know that for those that lost their mothers like me, I know our mothers are shining down on us, and they are proud of us, whether we feel it, we know it or not. I know they are, okay? So good night, everybody. I'll see you guys later on. Enjoy the rest of your evening, okay?